hello, good evening. Welcome to the stream, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I found myself just take a legendary nap. I was like passed out and confused what time it was, and then I woke up. uh, why? Thank you. It's very kind of you to say. Repeat. I don't know. It's so funny. A moment ago, my mind just, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna play birds, play around with loops. That's basically what I was doing. But I'm just like, let us just do this again and see what occurs. Let's see what happens. Let's hit this. It's kind of what I always do. Is I'm like, let's hit this go live button and see what happens. You know, I don't even know what's gonna happen. It could be magical. It could be a little bit of chaos. A little bit of just music, bliss. You know, really, I don't even know. uh, but there's this thing. So there's this ball. That's where the ball drops. That's where it broke. Thank you, brother. Every time you are on live stream, I leave my work. Yes, that's legendary. It's the alignment. It's the alignment, brother. Somehow, no, but I'm like perpetually, you know, I'm grinding out watch hours. And once I'm done grinding watch hours, the beauty is then I never in my life will have to do this again. Then I'll just want to. I'll want to grind. Yeah, I don't know. It's beautiful though, yeah. We're on the quest. We're on the quest for those 4,000 watch hours. You're a frog. Well, that's dope as fuck. That's all I can say is I'm sure being a frog is an incredible experience. Let's see if we can master this sound a little bit. We can get less bird sounds, more of whatever this is. These birds are just really going in. There we go. Alright, I think we're at a good volume now. He's wearing the hat that I want. Whoa. That's legendary. Considering I just designed this hat and built this into existence like 4 days ago. Or something like that. Well, a couple weeks back. Magician. Hell yeah, dog. This is... I never desired to be... Well, I'm always desired to be a musician, but... I think just being a magician is just something that, you know, who doesn't want to just do magic stuff? Who doesn't want to just, I don't know, just do sorcery low-key? I think all of us just want to be wizards, you know. Someone. you know Emily from first to last? Emily from first to last. Emily from first to last. I can't say I do. I think first to last, though, isn't that first to last? First to last. I think there's a singer. I know someone, they said I looked like a lead singer to some band, and it actually sounds like... Word. Oh, first to last. First to last. That's definitely not it. That's Skrillex's band, isn't it? That's Sonny Moore. Sonny Moore's project. I have no idea who Emily is, but... You feel like more than the musician, everything just seems to flow through you. Wow, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely... It's pretty effortless. I've been honing improvisation for like 9-10 years. That's why I love to promote and like teach improv. I feel like it's such a... Like you too, you know, if you're a musician or a guitarist, you can actually, if you focus on learning improv, like really learn the art of improv, it becomes like this, you know, it's like you eventually just do basically anything, and it sounds like a very completed composition, but it wasn't always like this. You know, I had to spend various years really just desiring to just hone improv, to, you know, feel into this kind of, these connections. But yeah. I have no idea who Alan Jackson is, brother. I have no idea who Alan Jackson is or how to perform it. Wow. It's so beautiful. The sound of birds, it's like chaos. I love it. It's like one moment it's beautiful and they're relaxed and they're just chilling, then the next moment these birds are just like flipping out, just beaking each other. That's nature. That's just beautiful nature. I find that these two bowls here, these sound bowls, they actually have a very interesting relationship. If you listen really closely, they basically interweave, and they start to... Alan Jackson is very well known. I imagine he is, yeah. Mark Knopfler. That sounds kind of familiar, but only because I think everyone just recommends musicians they know on this stream, which I love, I gotta say. Shout out you guys. Shout out you guys out recommending awesome musicians. What's good, Sab? What's good, Sab? Prajit. Alan Jackson is a famous 90s country singer. Nice. You know what? I'm gonna look into the homie. This is part of the beauty of being a YouTube guitar YouTuber, streamer guy, whatever, is I get to learn as well as you guys if I'm sharing my music. Alan Jackson. Honestly, I've not a clue in the world who this Alan Jackson. Ah, so he's got a really cool hat. He's got a dope hat. This is confirmed. This is certified. So Alan Eugene Jackson's American country singer-songwriter, celebrated for his neo-traditional style and storytelling. Well, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'll keep him up on my Google. Once I end the stream, I'll pop on. Yeah, I'll check him out. Baby Slash. Okay. I like to copy exact improv. You like to copy exact improv? Nice. I mean, I think that deviates from improv in a sense, but yeah, I highly invite, like, if you want to learn improvisation, that's kind of how you got to start. It's like, here's a riff, and you just... Yeah, that's a riff. Or you can just take that riff and just make it your own, play around with it. But I'm going to return back to the sound journey. Yes, yes. Eric Clapton is my favorite improv guitarist. Interesting. Eric Clapton. I'm vaguely familiar with Eric Clapton, but not really that familiar, truthfully. Not really that familiar. I've been peeking on you for like 3 months and you make an impact in others' lives. Oh, wow. 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 Interesting. Wow, thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing, Repeat. 3 months. Yeah, this is you've been seeing a beautiful. You just made my dog bark. That's amazing. Yeah, it's been a wild 3 months. I mean, if you've been here from the start, I mean, thank you so much for the support. Repeat, thank you so much. Like, that means a lot. And I feel, if you're familiar with this channel, I've only literally been like, really just like active in this community, like growing this channel successfully, that is, probably about 4 months. It's kind of like my story of like 0 to now is kind of bizarre. It's beautiful though. It's like, it kind of shows in a very real sense just how YouTube surely desires authentic humans. It desires more than ever. It desires people, authentic artists, authentic guitarists, musicians, whatever you desire to bring. It's like, if you truly do have that vision, if you have that intention, if you desire to grow something beautiful in this community, that will surely go far. That's really what my journey is embodying and showing in such a way. I mean, there's many different pieces of this. I feel like maybe I know for a fact I've been cultivating so many different dimensions of what my intention is as a YouTuber, as a performance artist. I'm a performance artist and have been for various years. But yeah, it's like, I have many different sort of core intentions. But I think what I love to really pass on, what I'm really trying to let people see is, if you allow yourself to learn to authentically communicate with yourself, with the people around you, with your universe, with your experience, on these streams, often the experience is pretty universal. It's a very universal thing, whether it's a person that's, here with good intention, whether it's a person that's, maybe unhinged and confused or trolling or whatever, the 1%, the 1% of the 1%. It's like, I love to just like see the possibility to have an authentic dialogue. And again, this is a beautiful thing, because I remember about a week ago, if you guys were here on the stream, you'd remember I basically had a conversation with an older gentleman that was about probably like 15 years older than me. This dude was dope as fuck. I'll be honest. I have no idea why. He just approached me at some point when I was playing my pan flute. Like, I was playing this baby in public, in the real world. But yeah, anyway, basically what occurred was this guy came up to me and he started talking to me. We're just kind of talking about his experience as a musician. He said he's been a musician for most of his life, a singer primarily, and really into guitar. And this dude was basically like a real world embodiment of the people, the audience, the community that I've been growing. And it was just so random that he just approached me. Maybe not that random, because this instrument is a very, very beautiful portal, I feel. It attracts a very interesting interaction. But anyways, so I remember this interaction as it unraveled. I basically was talking with this guy, this random stranger, for like an hour, literally on the SkyTrain ride back. 45 minutes, we were just talking about music, talking about our influences, talking about, just what we appreciate about music. And eventually the conversation went more so to what I often take the conversation to. I talked about, the issues, or the programming that is present in modern society, that basically is, in the simplest right, this capacity of authentic presence, authentic communication, the ability to experience human beings in the real world. Maybe it's just the product of a society that's addicted to our phones, that's addicted to dopaminergic programming, it's addicted to many things. It's like I went onto this place where we were just appreciating the powerful nature of a real world, a visceral interaction, a real world interaction, just how powerful, how transformative this is, and particularly in the context of just authentically communicating with each other as humans, just one human to another, speaking their truth, wherever you are, whatever capacity. And yeah, it was very powerful, because I remember just feeling so humbled, but also so just like enamored that. And I also had some random dude come up to me, and he was really intrigued, and he was wanting to know about my YouTube channel. He took down my channel name, and eventually it went onto a direction where I was like talking about my mission as a YouTuber and what I'm like doing as a YouTuber, which I just love talking about, and just really just sharing my mission with, YouTube. And it just got me to this place where I was like, wow, I just love this. Like, it's like no matter where you find yourself in life, in the real world, outside of the real world, if you can approach these interactions, these places with an authentic presence, that you can authentically communicate your truth, whatever that is, right? That can penetrate a lot of the social conditioning. Eric Clapton. I gotta check out Eric Clapton again. Back to the side. The tender side of YouTube is what you are. That's nice. That's a nice compliment. That's a nice compliment. Let's continue with this. With just some Ram Dass. Just this, friends. Just this. Steam Master. How do I make money? You think I make money? I'm a pro bono YouTuber now. I work in the film industry, brother. I work in the film industry. I do background acting primarily. Commercial work. But I'm actually transitioning, devoted full time. I've been actually doing the metrics, grinding out these streams, and I desire to be a full-time YouTuber. Yeah. That's been my vision since I started this channel 8 months ago. And yeah, right on track. I somehow premeditated all this. I don't know exactly how, but I just set all these different metrics where I'd be at in 3 months, in 5 months, in 6 months, in 8 months, and here we are. So I predict in about 6 months I'll be doing full-time YouTube, fully sponsored, planning out different traveling trips to like Japan and Thailand, doing YouTube, streaming, making content, growing different social media businesses. That's what I want to do. That's great. Basically just doing the same thing I do in the real world. Like, strangely enough, I've talked about this once or twice. If you're new here, welcome. But I basically what I do on these streams is basically the exact same thing I do on film sets. Like, genuinely, it's like I bring my guitar, I go on to film sets, I talk with strangers, usually artists, actors, fellow musicians, and I spend most of the day eating fruit, playing guitar for strangers like this, just like... So it's a very natural transition for me from working on film sets to doing this. And of course, I eventually do actual acting when I'm... funny because I like to really jump around. Oh, I see what's happening. It's unplugging and then it's replugging. Let's get that closer. I can really, I've noticed I can do these streams in a way that's very, what's the word? Low effort, very simplistic in a beautiful way. But I love to, I like to make these streams very like engageable. I like to really make these a fun experience majority of the time. But it's beautiful to think that these streams are very effortless sometimes, where I can just create a performance, create an energy, create a meditative space, and let that be the portal. But naturally, it's a stream, so we all have this ability to create this like multi-dimensional experience. If I'm gonna be so inclined, I'm trying to find. I had a link open where I was reading quotes. This is what I want to do right now. We're gonna read some Osho. We're gonna read some Osho together here, because Osho is a very interesting individual. If you guys are familiar, I hope you were. Phenomenal human being. Why is your front teeth backwards? I think it's because we're flipped. We're flipped. This is a flipped. It's a flip stream, brother. All right, you guys are nice and close to the sound. What we're gonna do is we're gonna flip this here and set it up. I think we got this. Beautiful, beautiful. So nobody is superior. Nobody is inferior, but nobody is equal either. People are simply unique. They're incomparable. You are you, and I am I. I have to contribute my potential to life, and you have to contribute your potential to life. I have to discover my own being, and you have to discover your own being. Let's go back to that. You look like Heath Ledger. Thank you, friend. Thank you. I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. It's rest in peace, Heath Ledger. We love Heath Ledger. He was a really dope dude. Honestly, didn't know him personally, of course, but I really appreciate what I saw of his work. He seemed like a beautiful soul. So it's always a high honor to hear that. Truthfully. So your whole idea about yourself is borrowed from those who have no idea of who they are themselves. Osho. Dang. Keep reading Quiet by Pablo Neruda. Interesting. Keep reading Quiet. I've heard of Pablo Neruda, but I've never heard of that particular book. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, KG. Bermuda cheese. I don't eat cheese, actually. Not for a long time. These birds. I love it. They're great. They're just chaotic birds. These are just birds. Birds are just so natural. They're just beings. These little, yeah, they're just primal little ancient animal beings. Let's see. Interesting. I'm just going through these Osho quotes here. I love because love is not dependent on the object of love. My love is dependent on my state of being. So whether the other person changes, becomes different, friend turns into foe, does not matter because my love was never dependent on the other person. My love is a state of my being. I simply love. Find ecstasy within yourself. It is not out there. It is in your innermost flowering. The one that you are looking for is you. Just so true, Osho. So true. So true, Osho. Looks like you stole Willy Wonka's hat. Nice, because Willy Wonka is a man of style, of class. I don't know. I'm not sure. He's pretty dope though. Yeah, but this is my hat, brother. I'd say look closely. This is very different from Willy Wonka's hat, but you know, when you play with the sounds, your voice is going deeper. When you play with the sounds, your voice is going deeper. That's true. That's true, Teatro. That's true, Teatro. I've noticed for whatever reason, when I'm more calm, my voice is very like intentional. It's like if I was on mushrooms right now. That's actually the same thing that happens. My voice becomes like very calm, very almost like zen, if you will. And it's just that's what happens. It's not even like I try to do it. But it's the same way if I'm reading philosophy, because philosophy is often something I'm studying when I'm in altered states of consciousness, or if I'm just like really feeling calm. A mature person has the integrity to be alone. When a mature person gives love, he gives without any strings attached to it. He simply gives. And when a mature person gives love, he feels grateful that you have accepted his love, not vice versa. He does not expect you to be thankful for it, no, not at all. He does not even need your thanks. He thanks you for accepting his love. And when two mature persons are in love, one of the greatest paradoxes of life happens. One of the most beautiful phenomena. They are together, and yet they are tremendously alone. They are together so much that they are almost one. But their oneness does not destroy their individuality. In fact, it enhances it. They become more individual. Two mature persons in love help each other to become more free. There's no politics involved, no diplomacy, no effort to dominate. How can you dominate the person that you love? Just think over it. We're returning to the room. It's fun though. I find like when I was new to YouTube, I found myself very focused, right, on continuously trying to, naturally improve this channel, improve the meditative nature, improve the intention, etc., etc. But I think this is a powerful thing. Oh, we're gonna go back to the start of the comments. But yeah, bruv, I think what's interesting is I've noticed this, and this is a continual thing, I think, is we as humans, we can continuously almost like focus on creating a more meditative, a more comprehensive, a more relaxed and intentional experience. And this portal, this YouTube channel, this experience is a perfect example of that, where it's like, this can be a thing where it's kind of scattered, it's disorganized, it's chaotic, which is beautiful because obviously the world and the universe is chaotic, right? We're all humans, we're thriving in chaos. The universe is chaotic. But I think there's also so much we can introduce. Like, it's like every little sound, every thought, every word we say can be so rich and full of intention. Every sound that we desire to introduced, it can all become this like really rich tapestry of something really beautiful, if we desire to have that so. And I feel like, again, when I was early on in YouTube, I feel like this was really in the forefront of my attention. It's like, how can I create, very, very simply, this is the core thing I'm saying, is how could I create the most palatable experience for the perceiver, the most palatable. It's not necessarily better or worse. It's not, one specific thing. No, but it's about palatability. What is palatable? What is something that is like, it's very aesthetic. It's very easy to experience and just appreciate for what it is, right? And honestly, it's a very easy thing. I thought about this a lot when I was studying what I desired to do in my busking act. Busking, I find, is like it's very much like a spiritual journey. As a musician, especially, when you're busking and you're going into the public sphere and you're testing yourself to really push yourself out of your comfort zone and perform, you learn very, very rapidly. And one of the most powerful things you learn is basically exactly what I just expressed, is you learn how to find the balance point between palatability, that which is organic to you and your expression, while also learning how to make this almost like universally appreciated. It's almost like you can find the balance between the effortless nature of what you yourself love to express, and then let this also be received by the perceiver. And for me, this is how I developed my busking act. Is like, I found myself, this might sound cheesy, but I think you're really great. That was cringe, but thank you, brother. The sentiment is powerful. The sentiment sentiment's beautiful. That sentiment's beautiful. I was cringe as fuck, but thank you, brother, for sure. Appreciate you. Yeah. Gouda. Good morning, Beast. I'm going backwards now. I'm going backwards in comments, because, I was kind of ignoring everything. Okay. Yes. Sound bowls are coming through very loud on this end. Some feedback for you to try and help. Nice. Thanks, brother. I purposely brought them very close because I was experimenting with you guys hearing these thin vibrations, but because the way these interweave, right? But thank you so much, Nenzel. Thank you, brother. It's perfect feedback. What I'll do is, with that, I'm going to go onto my YouTube channel on my computer here and find the perfect balance point between where the sound bowls create the sound. So here we are. This is listening into the stream. Between where the sound bowl is. I mean, it sounds a little bit different, I'm sure, on your guys' end from this, but depending on your speakers. So here I am. I mean, it sounds a little bit different, I'm sure, on your guys' end from this, but depending on your speakers. Here I am. So the initial strike, it's the initial strike. I think it's the initial strike. The initial strike could be this guy. I think the initial strike could be better. And so it's basically like, instead of striking it like, which is not too surprising. It's with sound healing, when you're creating meditative sound journeys, the key thing that I've noticed over and over and over again, this kind of actually plays into what I was just talking about a moment ago. It's all about intention. It is like every strike. If you play, it's almost like if you treat every strike with a gentle, almost like meditative, almost like it's like you really intentionally care about every strike. You really want to give it like the perfect embrace. You want to just perfectly strike. Not too much tension, not too little tension. It's very similar in playing guitar, actually. But yeah. Nice. Yes. Actually, yeah, this is the beauty of this sound bowl right here. This is my favorite. This one has a very interesting song. But yeah, that's really just the nature of sound healing in many rights. Like, you could be just a person, just with your words, with your voice, with a single sound bowl. You don't have to be a multi instrument musician or whatever, but it all comes down to You know, it's almost like treating the musician, or it's treating the instruments, or every given choice in sound. Like even there, that was like, the attack was maybe very strong, very harsh. If I'm intentional with every single note, it reads that way, you feel it. But if I'm very calm, very steady with every choice, every execution, it flows through this way. It reads that way. And it's funny because this is kind of, you'll notice this reoccurring theme on my channel is, this actually occurred to me on mushrooms. Actually I did a week, about a few years back, I did a week where I did magic mushrooms every day, with a day in between on the 4th day, where I immediately made this is how I actually started to develop sound journeys, is I was on magic mushrooms, not surprisingly, where I would sit here and play this guitar, right? And instead of just playing like I regularly play, I played sort of how I do this now, is I play, even there, that attack, that sounded harsh. I play with the perfect balance. I'm not trying to play the guitar to play the guitar just as it is. I'm trying to play with the frequencies. You know, the very, very gentle, sub-perpetually slow progression. And very simply, that takes, strangely enough, I mean, maybe it's not that strange to think of, but playing with that level of focus, control, in like a meditative nature, is actually more difficult than regular playing typically. Like, you gotta be really calm. You gotta be very intentional. But yeah, it really, this is what I think creating sound journey is all about. And it's meditative for not just the perceiver, but for me. Like, I have to be in a state of meditation. Let's flip back on the bird sounds. Hypnotizing. Your sorry guitar is hooked up to anything. It's hooked up to Ableton, yeah. It's got Ableton hooked up and a preamp. Notice the tone would amp. Yeah, highly recommend checking it out. Be careful with my guitar, brother. I get you. Haha. I mean, I was confused for it because it was like, yeah, brother, this is never in my life have I ever borrowed anyone's guitar, truthfully. Nice. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Amy. You're doing a beautiful job. Speaking of love, this hat is mad. I'm just going backwards. All right, I'm going back to bird sounds now. Let's return to creating the fullest ambience here for the perceiver. I think we'll gravitate towards water sounds at some point, but that's part of the fun, though. I mean, I can't fully let go. I can't fully like disconnect and just close my eyes and forget that I am doing a performance. Because I remember the first time I ever did a sound journey, it was actually, I had a partner. She was a yoga instructor. She was really dope, really phenomenal human being. And we were together for like several months at this point. And we did a meditative journey together. She did like a yin yoga class, was doing sound bowls. And yeah, that was the first time that I ever performed sound journeys, like a sound journey. And yeah, immediately I noticed the paradox. These birds are just going in. I think we're going to switch this to beautiful stream. Beautiful. This is perfect. But I basically realized that even if you're doing a meditative sound journey, it can it can harbor a lot of tension, because you're doing a performance. If you make a mistake, suddenly that mistake is just like so evidently clear. So it takes a very like masterful balance of letting go, being in a meditative state yourself, but also being focused, being very aware and precise with every decision you make. It's a weird thing. It's like the illusion that you're putting on is that you're relaxed, but you're in reality, you're very conscious, you're very precise with every musical choice. At least at first, until you get, more natural with it. That's a perfect example. Perfect example of like that fine balance between trying to be focused, trying to surrender into the meditative flow, but then also, man, do I love that so much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I love this. This is my everyday attire. This is just how I'm always. Literally, the hat is a recent addition, but yeah, it's my everyday attire. Mm. If you want to learn anything, learn trust. Nothing else is needed. If you are miserable, nothing else will help. Learn trust. If you don't if you don't feel any meaning in life and you feel meaningless, nothing will help. Learn trust. Trust gives meaning because trust means you are capable of allowing the whole descent upon you. We're getting some interesting, unhinged ideologies. All I can say is because we've been just kind of chilling here, creating a meditative portal. Religious and political ideologies, not the place, not the time. Welcome to YouTube live stream land. Yeah. Close your eyes and listen to someone tell of a tragic event and blame money. And be right like 90% of the time. Wow. Thank you for sharing that truth, brother. Thank you for sharing the truth. I mean, I agree. I mean, we shouldn't be locked into these like one-dimensional narratives. But sure, I agree 100%. Materialism is often a immediate, it's the root of so much suffering, so much indifference, so much evil. That being said, of course, let's not be, completely delusioned. We live in a world, we live in a 3D reality, right? We live in polarity, we live in this material world. It's not what the world is on a deeper level, but this is the world we live in as humans, right? So love and respect yourself and never compromise for anything. And you will be surprised how much growth starts happening on its own accord, as if the rocks have been removed and the river has started flowing. Osho. Trust means giving yourself to the world and builds confidence in yourself. Trust is powerful. Like I remember when I was playing piano the other day in the stream, someone was asking me about my relationship with trust. I forget the exact the phrasing of the question, but they were very curious about what I think about trust. What are my core thoughts about it? And yeah, I think it's actually very simple. You trust because you are trust. You trust the people in your life. You trust the universe. You trust yourself. Trust is like a universal embodiment. It's like a core embodiment of who we are as beings. You either trust because it's your nature, or you do not because this is just part of your fundamental nature, and it's deeper, it's better to return to trust. Absolutely. Thank you, Amy. I mean, I'm happy to articulate at any given moment, for the sake of, just returning to the intention of this channel. But yes, religious, political ideologies are off topic. They're not the nature of this channel. This is a music channel. It's a channel that promotes freedom of expression and just talking about creative expression, philosophies, all that relate to that. But yeah, if you desire to speak about religious or political ideology, find another stream. You'd be welcome there to express your truth. I commend those that desire to speak your authentic truth, but religious, political ideologies, this is not the place. Yeah. I don't know if that was a thing. I'm not sure exactly. I think someone was mentioning something about stuff this, that, I don't know. setting the tone. You've changed your gaze. Very nice. I feel very calm. Yeah, I feel great. I feel great, brother. Appreciate you, Tiashro. Yeah. Love and respect. Yeah, that's what we just said. Blah, 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 blah. You come to know nothing is good, nothing is bad. Yeah. Some beautiful Osho quotes here. Amazing. Yo, what's good? What's good, Carl? Thank you, brother, for being here. What's good, Jay? Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, dog. Feeling great. I mean, I don't know. I'm making everything up as I go. Like I'm making up, I'm feeling the presence of whatever I'm here with, you know. If I'm creating the sounds of the river, that makes me happy and that makes me feel great. You know, if I strike this sound here, if I strike this resonance pattern, that makes me feel great. You know, there's just insane amounts of things to be grateful for. And we often just forget, because we humans like to forget. That's our thing. Yeah. Sounds like a preview of some Quentin Tarantino Western. Nice. Westerns are dope, I must say. I gotta love a good Western. They're beautiful. Let's go to the Japanese river. Yes. This is actually one of my favorite sounds. Actually, I would love to go to this river one day. The Japanese Asuna River. Thank you. Appreciate you, Amy. You're a gem. You're a gem. We are. Yeah, bro. We're made to forget. I love to return to that core truth is like, all we have to do is remember. Like, in the deepest sense, all we have to truly do is remember. You know, we as humans, we've forgotten so many things. We've forgotten such a deep, you know, deep truths, the ancestral wisdom that has been achieved through our ancestors, through generations. We've forgotten so much. And, you know, I really feel, in the deepest sense, we just need to remember. We literally have to sit back and remember what we've forgotten. Sometimes it really is that simple. Just remember what we've forgotten. One second. It's likely you guys probably can't hear that, but my fan was playing out in the background. I don't think it's very noticeable with the other sounds surrounding, but I feel like pure silence is beautiful. Especially when creating a meditative space, it's nice to just have pure silence and whatever sounds is present here. That's a good balance, I feel. Welcome, welcome, friend. Welcome, Lisette. Beautiful. Amazing. Welcome, welcome. I agree. This is, yes, Jacob Jones, but 2,000%, 200% more wisdom. Dude, wow. Yo, thank you, Puppy Toots. That's hilarious. Thank you. I have to say, I love Jacob Jones. That dude's hilarious. Like, he literally is just a dude. Just a dude. He's like, yes, sir. Just hanging out, drinking his beer, smoking his cigarettes. But it's like, I mean, he's not doing anything. Jacob Jones is like, he's just driving his car, loving life. Like, he's a beautiful spirit. But it's so funny, yeah. It's hilarious to make that kind of. I was watching Jacob Jones literally just earlier, yeah, earlier today, and I was just like, yeah. It's like, look at this guy. He's just living. He's a beaut. He's a beaut. He's just driving his car, describing his life, just narrating his life unapologetically. But yeah, Jacob Jones, what a guy. Shout out Jacob Jones. Absolutely. I think I walk in a similar path where I'm trying to go that effortless, you know, almost like romanticizing YouTuber in a genuine way, you know, the YouTuber route where you're like, I'm YouTuber guy, you know, and I'm just having a vibe, I'm having a time. Of course, then I have a guitar. The difference is I got a guitar, which makes it even easier to just have a good time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I don't even have to assume, but I'm pretty sure he's Canadian. He's got like a classic Canadian energy. I don't know where in Canada. Maybe he's American. No, he's American. He's American. He says it a bunch of times. I don't know. He's a good dude. I can only hope. I mean, I imagine I'll get there one day, but I can only strive to just like, you know, rock the same sort of energy as Jacob Jones, just like throwing out long format YouTubes where he's doing literally nothing and just having a vibe, having a good day, and then he's just like getting his, you know, getting his YouTube thing going. Of course, that being said, I don't know if he can get monetized because he's always talking about his alcohol and cigarettes. I hope you all are finding yourself rooted within your somatic body, within your somatic experience. You know, honoring your nervous system, honoring that which flows through with you in this moment, with this day, within these 24 hours. Really letting yourself feel into what this somatic experience is teaching you, what it is showing you, and really just being present with this. Do I do any theater work? I wish. I would love to one day. Nah, bro, I just do commercials primarily. Film and television for a period, now just commercials. That's my recent agency, as I'm focusing commercials. And commercials are chill. Commercials are fun. They're kind of rare, I'll be honest. I haven't gotten casted for many recently, but I'm also focusing YouTube full time. So it's a good balance. I can accept commercial gigs, you know, tentatively while I'm also just doing YouTuber stuff. Thank you for liking. Yes. Bless you. Bless Amy. You're a gem. I'm a little bit sad we can't collaborate for the project I told you. But next time, please tell me yes. We'll keep in touch, Teatro. I honor in the larger scope of the way that I've been desiring to like honor my time, honor my creations. It was the right call. Like it was not a personal endeavor. I knew for a fact what I need to invest in my journey in the next coming months. It's going to require a lot of me, and even further, nothing to even I think I've spoken of this openly, and this has been the reoccurring theme within collaborating. When I'm say going to bring people say on my channel or collaborate musically, because I've had various people reach out, people that I would love to collaborate with, like absolutely. and I've believed this for many years because, I've been a musician for many years. I believe collaboration, be it if we're talking about YouTube, be it if we're talking about music, be it if we're talking about any sort of creative construct, for me, it's a more about sacred timing. It's almost, strangely enough, I could actually draw the parallel to have the same way that I treat altered states of consciousness, like psychedelics, like changa. It's not even necessarily about the engagement itself. It's more about the sacred timing that aligns events. That's what I think is extremely important to honor. So when I listen into my experience and I'm like, okay, I know for a fact there's a better timing that's going to align with this sort of thing, with this collaboration. If there's certain things and people that I really feel that I need to nurture and navigate these waters of collaboration, it's really important, I think, as an artist to honor that. I know you honor that. I know you honor that, brother. Yeah. Thank you, Amy. You're a gem once again. I hope I can, I've thought this for many years, it makes me happy, even if I'm not, even if I'm on this path where I'm just planting seeds, trying to inspire people to just be, themselves, to speak their truth or whatever it is, to maybe pursue guitar, pick up a guitar and fall in love with the guitar. That alone for me is like, that is enough. Like, that is really fulfilling. Like, I don't think it takes a lot personally to fulfill myself, like on a deeper level. Now, obviously, I'm a member of society. I live in society. I live in British Columbia. I live in a societal construct. And I think there's so many different conditions and things and, you know, material programs that I sort of operate out of. But in the simplest, right, I realized this a long time ago is I really would be like extraordinarily happy just like living a simple life, in some sort of mountain village, just playing guitar, just writing music, maybe with a lover, with a partner, we would just be in the simple life, it's like I feel like that would be enough. Like that would be beautiful, be very spiritually healing. But at any rate, yeah, I think it's cool if I can inspire people even with just saying some words, teach them guitar. Like that's the thing is this channel, I knew was going to succeed far before I even like acted on it because my intention is really simple. Like, I've known this for years. Like when I was in packaging why I wanted to be a YouTuber various years ago, it was simple. I just want to empower people and inspire people with what has inspired and empowered me. It is really that simple. Like whether we're talking about, dance, philosophy, music. Music has been the catalyst. Like music was the birth, the seed that planted all of this inspiration and all these cataclysmic events in my life. So yeah, in the simplest way, if I can inspire people to pick up a guitar or I don't know, dive into music, that's like really deeply, that's an honor because that's what has healed, honor, inspired and empowered me. And I really, on the deepest level, I realized this a long time ago. I just want to pass on that torch. Like I just want to be like, hey, like pick up a guitar, like pick up a guitar. It can take you to beautiful places. Honor your creative expressions. It can do beautiful things, and it has done beautiful things for me. You know. That's a crazy. Why not go for it? Yes, sir. Sounds perfect. Beautiful. I'm gonna cast his lead role in a musical. Whoa, that's beautiful. Wow. That's beautiful. That's legendary, Ocean. Yeah. I didn't even know I could snap with that hand, but I could snap with this hand. Yeah. Yeah. I feel you, Teatro. I feel you, brother. I think I'm just desiring to, touch base with that intention, with that choice of being like, because again, this is like it's a weird parallel for me. I've thought this for most of my life. It's like technically, there's multiple worlds of thought. Some people, their journey is to join a bunch of different bands and projects and collaborate their brains out, and maybe that will forge them as an artist. Maybe not. In my experience, it's there's something about almost like the sacred context of how you make decisions in relation to what you are doing as a collaborative energy. As like if you're joining a band, if you're collaborating with artists, I strongly believe this. And then again, this is just my belief. Maybe it's limiting to some degree. Who knows? But I really believe, and this has worked very beautifully for me. To honor that intuitive feeling and that sacred timing of what aligns. And this YouTube for me. This is pretty obvious. It's like I'm a new YouTuber. I've been doing YouTube for 8 months tops. Really growing it for like about 4 or 5 months. Via streaming and etc. Right. I know for a fact so much is going to change the next 5 6 months. It's inevitable, and it's always going to be that way. And I need to know exactly how I'm going to continue to forge. I don't need to know exactly, obviously, but I need to trust the journey. I need to trust the unraveling. Yeah. Papa, why not go for it? I'm sure I don't know what you mean, brother, but of course, we should all go for it, brother. Why not go for it? Yes. That's a very, very interesting note, tricky note. I'm not sure if that clips out on the microphone. It's gonna troll, but it's low-key inspirational. Nice. That's legendary. Music is very powerful, beautiful. Van Halen, do you happen to know Spanish Fly on guitar? Honestly, not a clue. I have never heard of that song, but I would love to check it out. I want to explore more Van Halen. Yeah. But yeah. I mean, I say this quite frequently, and I'll say this a million more times, because I'm a YouTuber. I don't really desire. I'm not a cover artist. I create sound journeys. I do. I sometimes improvise interpretations, but I do improv. I do originals, and I don't desire to do covers. Maybe in the future, some vocal interpretations and release some sort of refined covers and performances. But as it is, I'm straying far from covers. Word, we're at 1.2k subscribe or 1.42k subscribers. That's awesome. But I also just don't want to get copyright infringement. I don't know. I'm just I'm not. I don't think it would happen, immediately if I'm doing an interpretation. But even then, it's like. Let's return to this backtrack here. Welcome to this live stream. Welcome to this live stream, friends. Welcome. I do not know how to perform. Yeah, I do not know how to perform Radiohead Creep. Yeah. It's a cool portal, honestly. It's a cool portal. It's a crazy classical piece. I'm going to search it up right now. Like, I won't click it because I'm on a stream, but. So, Spanish Fly. I've honestly been very intrigued of Eddie Van Halen. Since I've recently, basically, since I created a video talking about double-handed tapping, and I was like looking up images of Eddie Van Halen. I was like, this guy looks so happy and so just full of life and energy. I mean, good reason. He's like a legend, I'm sure, but Eddie, Spanish Fly, Eddie. Yeah, Van Halen. What a guy. I would have loved to know who he is, if he was alive still. I think he's not alive. That's beautiful, Amy. I'm happy you're feeling less stressed. Yeah. I wouldn't say I've been feeling stressed, but I've been definitely, I feel the weight and the tension of like a lot of the stressors around me, and I feel like this definitely it brings me home, you know? But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's funny how I kind of often, like, I almost laugh sometimes at stressors, like the stressors of, you know, the idea of like this, that, when I look at just how incredibly grateful, like, this almost sounds very like quintessential cliche, but it's like, yeah, I look at a lot of things in my life, I'm like, damn, like, wow. You know, I look at my new Ibanez guitar, I look at this baby, I look at, you know, my YouTube channel as it's growing the community, I look at my beautiful partner, I look at beautiful things in my life, I'm just like, holy fuck, like, damn, life is cool, like, life is beautiful, it's beautiful. But, you know, even just like looking into the river, you know, when you just sit with the river, right? There's like, you stare at a river and you just sit there in the forest and you're like, wow, like what a magical, magical experience. Just so much. There's so much. There's so much beauty. It's actually insane. So it's, yeah, life is kind of wild. It's bizarre. It's unfortunate. There's stressors and life is crazy sometimes. Like the 3D reality, you know, I love to return to like a philosophical bend on this channel. I love to. But it's like 3D. We're in this 3D reality. We get to experience this. You know, we get to experience this intensity, this fluctuation, this turmoil, this bliss, this all these complex emotions, right? These are beautiful. It's not always easy to see that, but it's the truth. It's the deepest truth. It's just an honor to experience all of this. These birds are awesome, I must say. I love that theme. You know, if you guys, I don't know if you guys watched The Last Samurai, right? The Last Samurai is has a movie score by Hans Zimmerman. One of the most beautiful movie scores I've ever heard. I heard it pops in it pops in my head all the time. It's The Way of Life. The Way of Life is one of the main scores. And yeah, for some reason that pops in my head all the time. That's basically the theme I just played. It goes very deep. It goes on a very deep melody, but it's like, and then it goes on another journey. It goes to like, goes into. Yeah, and then it just improv. Beautiful. The viewers and news and the old, the stories untold. Upon the question I behold, how's your day been made of gold? Has it been cold? I hope you enjoyed the night tenfold. Yeah, tenfold. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I love that, brother. I love that. Is this meditation? It's it's basically, yeah, it's a mixture of meditation and live in performance. It's sound bath, sound journey. Yeah. You look like you stepped straight out of the Harry Potter universe, which is awesome. Yo, thank you, dog. Thank you, dog. I've never considered that. Yeah. Harry Potter, I love Harry Potter, actually. I love the Harry Potter very much. I've considered, actually, I want to get like a lightning bolt tattoo somewhere, because my partner has to use a tattoo somewhere too. A lightning bolt, it's hilarious, but what's good? What's good, Floyd? How you doing, brother? It's a journey. It's a journey. Brazil. What's good, brother? Welcome, Brazil. Welcome. Blessings from Canada. Blessings from British Columbia, my friend. I love this bowl. Sound bowls as a whole, they're very diverse. They all have a very unique sound, but this one particularly, I don't know why, if you really hear the pattern in it, it's very beautiful. It's very rich. It's got a very unique sound. Yeah. This guy. I've considered this idea that I think would be really dope, to basically bring my phone with me. Say if I go to a rave, right? I go to raves a lot. Where I'm going downtown, I'm just going to a rave, meeting friends. If I like go for a walk, I've thought about this a lot. It'd be really cool if I, bring my pan flute with me everywhere. I just took a break from going to a rave when I'm downtown, and just go to the what is it, the C bus terminal and busk. I think it'd be really fun to just exit this rave and just play pan flute, like busk the pan flute. Basically, go to a random busking spot and start just playing the pan flute for strangers, in the evening, and then maybe do a live stream while I'm doing that. I just think it's like I'm a busker. I've been doing a busking for like a little bit now, about a year into 2 months. Really, just like 5 or 6 months, I was like devoted that. But the idea is, I've always considered the pan flute is such a rich and diverse instrument, and I carry it with me everywhere. So it's like I don't need to have all my guitars and my amplifiers and all that to busk. It's like, it's actually, this was loosely inspired by, there's an Asian fellow, an older Asian fellow that busks by one of the main SkyTrain terminals. He literally just has a tiny Asian flute, and he just plays this one song on repeat over and over and over again. And to me, that's bizarre. I'm like, wow, this guy has balls of steel to just like sit in a SkyTrain terminal and just play a flute song over and over and over again. And yeah, he's just vibing. And for him, maybe that's just like, that's his energy. But I just like, it just inspired me. I was like, you know what? I think simplicity is beautiful. It's simplicity to just hold space for a simple expression and just slip into a busking performance. It's beautiful. It's softer than the sound bowls. Beautiful. Honestly, I'm really feeling the pan flute right now. It comes in waves. Yeah. How there was that conversation a long while ago. Not quite sure if I mean, there's been many conversations, brother. Many conversations, but yeah, which conversation? Well, that's what I was thinking. That'd be fun. Is part of my vision with a lot of things is I want to start just streaming, with sort of like an intention of where I'm at, wanting to still be present, but just streaming everything. If I'm going to beaches and meeting phenomenal human beings, like meeting musicians on beaches and, playing guitar and doing cold plunges, having fun, just living, right? And just recording that. If I'm like, at some point, you know what, I'm gonna slip in a live stream, say hello to my YouTube community, and do a stream on a beach, which I've done before, when it was like a little bit back, and say I meet like strangers who are really open, receptive, and like, friends or strangers, and we have some deep philosophical discussion. That would be such a beautiful thing, like just interjecting the real world. It's like almost like entering like a sort of vlogger style thing, you know. It was about time. I think I know the one. But I mean, that conversation, the conversation about time, it can go in so many directions. I got you, brother. Yeah, I got you, brother. That's ambitious. I like that. I like that. We're only an hour and 32 in, and we're at 66 likes, so it's very possible. I think people really are just loving the sound journey, which makes sense because that's what this channel's got. Yeah, man, you should do a stream on the beach. 100%. I honestly, this last year, I've fallen in love with the beach. Where I've literally, for like 4 or 5 months, I would go to the beach like 3 days a week at least. I would just, at the drop of a hat, I would do everything I do in my day, and then I'm like, all right, it's time, and I would just disappear and spend like 4 hours on a beach, just hanging out with strangers or friends, make friends, play guitar, You know, swim in the ocean, do qigong all day. It's like, it's an oasis. Like when you really like, especially the beach that I was going to. It's on the brink. You know, imagine this on all British Columbia, right? British Columbia is the very edge of all of North America. Like it's on the very edge, right? And Wreck Beach, this is the beach, is on the very edge of the entire continent. So this is Canada, right? You know, North America, and British Columbia is in the very left. It's in the bottom left corner. And in the very bottom left, on the very edge of all of British Columbia, is this beach. And for some reason, because it's on this very edge of the entire continent, it's like tropical. It's different. It's nothing like the normal climate. It's actually technically it's a national park. It's not technically a part of British Columbia. It's part of the national park. But the idea is that this beach has a very different climate. The birds are different. The climate is slightly different. It's very unique. So it's magical. It's like you're in a different country suddenly, but it's in British Columbia. So that's the beach I love to go to. Yeah. Real ocean sounds would be magical. I agree. I agree with that. I actually just bought a handpan. Would buy more instruments. Wow. Wow. Bruv, yeah. That's quite the purchase, a handpan. I commend you, brother. That sounds like an incredible, incredible investment. Yeah, yeah, I'm in the same place, brother. It's like once I start cashing paychecks via YouTube land, I think the first instrument I'm gonna get, actually probably I'm gonna get this way before I cash checks. I'm gonna get a full size, full weighted keyboard. You know, so I'll basically play the piano, have a full size board here, so I can do like, you know, atmosphere, you know, spectrasonic synths, like do all this different live music stuff on Ableton. But the secondary thing I'd love to buy, and this will probably be a purchase I make once I'm, you know, getting YouTube checks, is electric cello. Electric cello. That's something I've been wanting to get for a while, and I think I would do very, very beautiful things with that. That's super dope, though, Hunter. That's awesome, bro. I think that's gonna sound really awesome. And I love handpans are just excellent. Mm-hmm. Ocean sounds. Ocean. Yeah, okay, let's see. Ocean sounds to study and chill. Oof. Okay, let's. That is pretty mellow, I must say. The visual itself, the visual is very. I really need to upgrade my speakers, though. I think this would do so much more justice with the bass waves, but this is nice, though. Oh yeah, we can work with this. I like that. I like that. My heart will go on. Not an idea, not a clue how to perform that, friend. Yeah. The electric cello, yeah, the cello as a whole. That's why I love this baby. This is why I love this baby so much. This violin bow here, but yeah. Yeah, we're not a cover artist. Thank you. Plus, we don't fuck with copyright infringement. You're doing a beautiful job. You're doing a beautiful job, Amy. Need more rosin for that. I need to actually purchase another one of these. These typically are very silky when the horsehair isn't like frayed here. Let's see. I think I'm gonna choose another tropical wave, one that's more calm. Yeah. Yes, this is the one. This is less crashing waves, more just like relaxed, chill waves. It's hard to go wrong. It's hard to go wrong with the sounds of nature. This is nice. This is magic. Let's give this a good rosin coat. Should make one of those super long sleep music tracks. I would love to fall asleep to your music. Thank you, brother. I appreciate the compliment. I have actually a few projects in the making where there's some beautiful things weaving out. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, brother. You've really beautifully revealed that you're not. Yeah, she got it. Yeah, she beat me to the punch. I was ready to remove his chat abilities, but thank you, Jason. You're not the target audience. You know, enjoy the brain rot, AI slop, or whatever you're playing around with. Yeah. I love roasting trolls. I mean, I'll be honest here. It's a vibe. Going to subscribe in hopes you put out some sleep tracks. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. I really like. I actually sincerely appreciate that. Your perspective, because 1,000% that inspires me. That actually 1,000% gives me incentive. Like, you know what? I'm gonna go through that process to capture and studio record some of these things, and it's already in the making. I love creating sound journeys, but absolutely, brother. Expect in the future, I'm gonna continue to put out higher quality atmospheric sound journeys, sleep tracks, mellow sounds. Be well, my dog. I think what I probably need to do, this makes perfect sense, is in the future, I'm not a sound engineer. I'm good at learning to master and equalize, and we have a lot of different beautiful modern things at our disposal. But what I think I'm going to do is once I'm making paychecks, I could probably do this before I'm making paychecks from YouTube. I can actually just start buying studio slots. I could reach out to studios, like professional sound studios, and then start just booking slots and spend like an hour or two recording high studio quality sound journeys. Like I could just hire studio slots, spend a couple hours, and make like incredibly high professional grade, professionally sound engineered or professionally mastered sound journeys. I can work with a sound engineer and master some beautiful, beautiful. I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. 'Cause I've never done that. I've never thought of. I've tried that for original others music, but not sound journeys. Hell, I can probably do a live stream. I can live stream doing a studio session while recording sound journeys. I could literally just live stream doing that. That's actually, yeah, this is the beauty. That's the beauty of having money, like being able to invest in yourself. I'm like, oh, word, I won't even think twice about just like spending money to invest in studio slots, space, and then record high quality sound journeys with a sound engineer. He would literally just make it seamless. Yeah, it's gonna happen now. It's gonna happen. Yeah. No, I appreciate that, brother. Nice. Will there be any festivals this season, this summer? I mean, I'm thinking of doing Shambhala. I'm thinking of doing Shambhala, man. Yeah. I'm a festival performer myself. Like, I do fire and acrobatic performances. And I do, like, smaller festivals. I've applied for Shambhala, but yeah, I'm gonna do, like, Electric Love, maybe Samsara, maybe Bass Coast. I'm gonna perform at a few of those. And then, yeah, and then I'll probably purchase a ticket to Shambhala because I think I just want to be present for Shambhala. But we'll see. I think that's probably what's on track. Because especially if I'm doing full-time YouTube and I'm making those YouTube checks or whatever, I'm definitely going to be able to just like throw down some money for a Shambhala ticket. And then probably live stream and record the entire live stream record at Shambhala. Like what a actually that would probably get copyrighted like crazy. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Let me make a long format YouTube video. But yeah, no, you're right, dog. I mean, I do have a pretty strong studio setup. Like I'm actually, that's the belief that I've universally attached is I have a great studio setup. But what I'm thinking is the ability to say, drop some dollar bills on a professional studio, an audio engineer, like a studio with an audio engineer, that would make it that much easier. And I actually have a couple good friends that are audio engineers, so I'd probably reach out to my friends. And I could literally just like, they would make the creative process flow so well. Because that's the thing that I struggle with. I'll be perfectly honest. I've recorded tons of music, but there's a lot of little audio tricks to master my audio that is the difference between me, say, like tightening up certain parts or seamlessly creating the most high quality audio with the highest quality microphones. But yeah, eventually, if I just invest in like a million little lav mics and a bunch of high quality equipment, eventually everything will be studio quality. Yeah, I can stream. That's true. That's the funny thing is, the one thing I can't, of course, stream is anything that has actual copyright infringement. So if I'm at a live show, because I've gone to shows, I think you were asking me last time, Amy. I actually did live stream the rave I went to. Super dope show. I had so much fun. But I live streamed at it for like 20, 30 minutes on YouTube. And then I immediately got a copyright claim. It was just like, the song that they were playing, it triggered YouTube's copyright algorithm or whatever, which it didn't even translate. I just deleted the 20-minute video. It probably wouldn't even have gone through as a strike. But I don't like to touch copyright claims with a 10-foot pole. Like immediately, I don't even, yeah. So if there's anything that's even remotely copyrightable, I don't even approach. Wow. Pure. What a beautiful sound. And upload the streaming services like Apple and Spotify. Oh, yes. That's exactly right, yeah. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen in the future. Spotify. And SoundCloud. I like SoundCloud. Nice. Very nice. Absolutely, brother. Well, thank you for chiming in. Call me Dr. Worm. Appreciate you, dog. Definitely keep your eyes open. Yeah, I mean, my streaming dimension is definitely like zero pressure, zero expectations, but feel free to follow me on this journey, brother. Yeah. I appreciate again you sharing. Yeah. That being said, there's a lot of awesome live performance. Like part of what I love, the caveat is personally a huge part of why I love live streaming and I love this portal is, to me, live performance is a lot more special. It's a lot more magical. It's rare in this modern context. Music is powerful. Studio recording, it's an exquisite sound, but for me, the magical part of it is improv. I'm doing this all live. I do all 90%, 95% of these streams, if not more, is all live improv. Every word I say, every song that I play, it's pure improv. And to me, that's special. That's, I think, really magical. And I also, that's not even just about the stream capacity. I really honor improv in the larger dimension. Be it we're talking about acting improv, we're talking about creating content, we're talking about dancing, singing, playing guitar. I personally really deeply resonate with improvisation. It's a life-changing thing. It's a powerful thing. It's a powerful portal. Appreciate you, Jay. Ashay is a Virgo. Yes. Yeah. I'm a Virgo, yes. Virgo, I'm actually Virgo Leo. Well, Virgo cusp on Leo. Yeah. I should just record everything I just did now. So this is what the habit I've been getting into is I kind of like to just check off my brain, flip off my brain, and then just record. I still got to master the audio a little bit, but if I just like say, I'm like, okay, that's perfect, right? And then I just ignore the fact that I'm recording. My brain always knows though, to some degree, sometimes my brain is just like, it's conscious that I'm like, oh, we're in recording mode, and then it makes subtle little mistakes, but that's just the breaks. That's the breaks. I just gotta keep playing guitar and performing until I forget that I'm recording. Wicked, wicked. Libra, wonderful sign. Dr. Worm. Amazing. I'm also a female. Brother's good too. I do this. I don't know. I'm assuming. I always, yeah. I don't know. I readily assume that everyone's a man, that are a brother, but brother, sister. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I mean, for the longest time too, when I teach guitar, I was promoting, growing my channel. My audience was like, I think it's like 90% male. Now it's 90% male, just by the means of the algorithm. I got that 10%, and I think the streams are definitely a bit of a balance. But thank you, Worm, thank you, Worm. And I appreciate again the support. And, your thoughts about like your sincere desire to hear Spotify, like finished, uh, beautiful atmospheric sound journeys when you're falling asleep. I think there's many people I feel that feel the same way. Maybe they don't feel the desire to pop on a live stream, and they would love to hear this kind of music. And they'd love to hear. That's kind of part of the fun, though. That's part of the fun. It's like I'm whoa, I'm a YouTuber, and I like to be that sort of like, what's the word? I'm like that portal. It's like you enter this portal. You're just like, whoa, I'm on a YouTube live stream, but suddenly, it's like you're thrust into this portal. It's like a sound journey, meditative journey, where you get to experience a live performance of music. That for me, that's like a part of the appeal. It's a part of the appeal of being a streamer, but also, of course, it's intriguing. So I've heard from the perceiver. Whether I'm dropping philosophy or talking about Osho or playing some chill music. Each of us finds his unique vehicle for sharing others his bits of wisdom, Ram Dass. The game is not about becoming somebody. It's about becoming nobody. Ram Dass. I'm not sure if that's even perceivable. If you can even hear that, let's listen. See if you guys can hear this. How this? Let's see how the sound quality is from your guys' end. It's gonna take a second. Let's see how the sound quality is from your guys' end. Sort of. It's very, very faint. Very faint. Very faint. Yeah. Yes. I don't need frets. Yeah, cold hard facts. Bruv, frets. Frets are nice, but this you actually bend into notes that are beyond notes. You know, you can enter alternate frequency shifts like this. Beautiful. YouTube is very male, I believe. I don't know. Maybe. I never thought about that. I don't know. I'm not sure if YouTube is very male. I honestly never thought about that, but I think there's such a diversity of content for men and women, people of all ages. I couldn't, yeah, I don't know. But welcome, brother. Welcome, Catman. Who here enjoys going on walks? Walk about 3 hours a day, discovering places in the room. I love that, brother. I love that ocean. I love walks. Yeah. You know, as you guys, if you're familiar, sometimes what I do, especially when it's warmer, is I take this live stream and I mount my camera on my guitar and I go for walks. Whoa. I go through walks through the forest. That's actually one of my all-time favorite ways of streaming. And actually, when I was new to streaming, when I had like 0 viewers or like 10 viewers or whatever, that's when I would just I would just go to the forest. That's literally I would pop on a stream, assume that okay, nobody's watching, that's cool, and then I would go for a walk in the forest and just play guitar and write music. That's what I perpetually did. Now it's different, obviously, but it's kind of fun where it's like when you just love the process of just like even if 0 people are watching or 1 person is watching or 1,000 people, you do the same thing and you have the same presence. It's kind of like you just, you know, you win. It's a win-win. Win-win-win. Very grateful, though. Very grateful that there are larger audiences that were taking this beautiful YouTube channel to beautiful things. It's exciting. It's very exciting. You know, I really appreciated that one individual, her name was Ripri, as I think I'm pronouncing it. She had such a beautiful, sincere compliment of just like expressing that she's been observing this journey the last few months, and yeah, she just really appreciates what I'm doing here, which I really love. Like that's touching. That's very touching. And definitely, like, even when it was like 10 people, even when I had like 20, 30, 40, 50 subscribers, I was, always so touched by the type of people, the sincere compliments of people like, wow, this is awesome, or whatever you're doing on the guitar, or, just people, the sincere community of YouTube is always been something I've deeply appreciated. And to see this, to feel this, even when I was at this new, very new phase of this journey, it continuously surprises me. It continuously, keeps me very inspired, and keeps me happy. Where I'm just like, wow, these people are dope. Love the forest. Amazing. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother. Mm. Yeah, 3 hours. That's beautiful. Honestly, truthfully, only when I'm usually on psychedelics, like mushrooms, that's usually when yeah, will just like go on a walk, because I live near the forest, and I'll walk for like 3, 4 hours into the forest, and those are magical, magical, life changing experiences, really. Yeah, it's powerful, especially nature. Yeah. Rest in peace, Heath. Wicked. Magic, magic. Have I traveled outside of the USA? I have not. If you're referring to myself, yeah. I mean, I have actually as a kid, yes. I went to Hawaii. Yeah, I went to Hawaii and California as a kid. Those were like family trips, but as of like solo trips, not yet. But that's the plan, is once I really just like crystallize this YouTube thing, just start receiving full-time income and beyond, then I'm down. I'm gonna plan out trips. I'd love to go to Japan. I've actually been cultivating a lot of places. But I think without a shadow of a doubt, Thailand, Japan, um, Australia, California, Paris, uh, Costa Rica, 1000% Costa Rica. Uh, yeah, just so many places, so many places. Yeah. Where do you want to go? Japan. Yes, Japan. Japan's beautiful. Japan is beautiful. It's chill. Honestly, I love the culture from what I can see. Thailand has attracted me for a long time. I'm really drawn to the food, the culture. I'm really into like fire dancing myself, so I feel like there's a lot of very interesting kindred people and beautiful festivals, because I'm very into like festivals and tropical festivals and tropical performance circus oases. There's so much beauty out there in the world. Like there is so much beauty. Mexico, absolutely. I would love to visit Mexico. I love Spanish culture. I love everything to do with that culture is beautiful. I've always deeply resonated. Also, somewhere that I remember someone was mentioning that they really like is Croatia. However it's pronounced, Croatia, I think it is. The place, it's like very tropical, very beautiful. Yeah, lots of places, so many beautiful places. Yeah. Canada is phenomenal. I love Canada. I feel blessed to live in Canada, especially British Columbia. It's very green. Like that's the magic is, I really feel very grateful to live in British Columbia where it's like insanely foresty. There's forest everywhere. It's like it's basically like there's Vancouver, the lower mainland, but then the entire stretch of most of British Columbia is basically hot springs and massive valleys and mountains. It's huge. It's like I actually think part of my part of my journey is going to be eventually just traveling all throughout British Columbia, just going and experiencing all of BC, just going through all the forests and going on some beautiful little adventures. Egypt. Beautiful. Bro, I would love to go to Egypt. I would love to go to Egypt. Yeah. Honestly, Africa as a whole, I'm not sure how it'd be like traveling, but like parts like West Africa feel really like very beautiful, especially in a simple context. I mean, I've been going to this store where it's basically called Touch of Africa, and it's where I get this vial. It's like an essential oil I have over there, and very potent, and it's all just pure oils from West Africa. And yeah, it just intrigues me because Ashe, it has a universal, the brand or the channel name, right? Ashe is as it is has a powerful meaning. It's universally throughout the world. It has many different meanings: Brazilian culture, French culture, and Swedish Scandinavian culture, and of course in African Yoruba Africa. It has a very powerful significance, and I find that very intriguing. So it's like I feel like one day it would be an honor to visit Africa. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, whereabouts are you from, Amy? Out of curiosity. Can I do tap guitar? Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. I'll probably give me like 5 minutes. I'll turn it down. Yeah. My twin is requested to turn down the volume because it's getting late. It's getting late. This is why I go outside. 'Cause I like to respect the volume barriers. But that's the beauty. It's like having this outdoor space. I can just pop into the other room. I can just stream whenever I desire. But not with the studio setup. Yeah. Yeah, brother. Definitely. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Key. Thank you, Key Master. Appreciate that. Very much. If you're interested, I teach actually. I teach guitar. I have bits and pieces of them on my channel where I teach harmonics, tapping, improv. But yeah, lots of stuff about tapping as of recently, but yeah, it's a mixture. You know, teaching guitar is kind of like my secondary intention of this channel. Like I have various, but in the future, I'm definitely gonna just like focus and sure make like a course of a sort, because why not? We like to do all this YouTuber stuff. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, we'll keep the volume at a minimum, I think, until it gets too late. Or until it gets, yeah, when it gets later, I have to probably take it off. The respect to the roommates. Do you have played with Ebo before? Nah, I actually haven't. No, I've never used an Ebo. Those look really awesome, though. Nice, that makes sense. Keys master. That's awesome, brother. I love the piano, actually. I often stream and do piano improv. I really, really love the piano. It's a very, very potent instrument. Whoa. Whoa. I didn't know I could do that. I accidentally pinned a comment. I didn't know what pinning. Oh, and then I deleted. Okay, that deleting comment was that was a mistake. But yeah, I appreciate you, Keys. I appreciate you, brother. Nice, nice. Look at me fumbling around. It's great. I think we're going to take ourselves outside for a moment, outside the studio setting. Let's see, yeah, because we got this nice and plugged in. I mean, possibly, yeah. It's possible. I'm open to collaboration in the future. I mean, I primarily like to just kind of focus on facilitating the streams because these streams can kind of get pretty large. But yeah, if we connect in the future and want to do some sort of collaborative thing, let's stay in touch, brother. Here we are on the outside. Got the mysterious lighting and the natural sounds of the rain. Natural sounds of the rain. Nice. Yeah, no. Nice. It can be, yeah. I like the outside. It's chill. Yeah. I see. Unpin. That's what I can do. I see. Pin, unpin. Nice. I went to a rave where Alex Gray and his wife Allison were live painting. I met Duncan Trossel. Signed the copy of Be Here Now. Wow. Wow. Dude, that sounds absolutely phenomenal, P-Dub. I love that for you, brother. Yeah, honestly, I love Alex Gray. He's a phenomenal visionary artist. Yeah. So that sounds amazing. And actually, yeah, I really love that. I love that book too. Ram Dass, Be Here Now. Such a great book. Very, very unorthodox. Very beautiful. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, dog. Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. I think guitar would go with the hung drum or pan pan. Absolutely, yes, brother. I would love to get myself. Yeah, both of those. I've actually jammed. I've jammed with quite a few really talented hand pan artists, and the entirety of the sound, like guitar, pan flute especially, goes very beautifully. Yeah, very beautifully. I agree, my man. Yeah. Yes. That's an aesthetic that I love. I love to bring to this channel. You know what I often do in a lot of my previous streams, I'll go into the nature and yeah, just jam out. Yeah. Just play. Wow, I can hear some ambulances or something. There's some sort of sirens going on in the very, very far distance. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. It's a yeah, lots going on. I love the guitar. It's my foundation. It's my foundation for everything, I'd say. Cool. I think I'm gonna grab myself a ritual incense. Yes. This is a Yamaha, my guy. Yeah. It's Yamaha. 1 second. 1 second. Definitely sacrifices a little bit of the technique when I'm doing that sort of Spanish guitar style or the Spanish position. Sounds great though. Or classic position, that's not Spanish. The classical guitar position. Sounds great though. Sounds great. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree so much. G Wood. G Wood. I love Yamaha. They make seemingly great motorcycles. You know, hopefully I'll ride one day, maybe get a different type or something. But they make great guitars. That's certified facts. Word. That's good to know. The YZ125. That's very interesting. I'll keep that in mind. The hat grants proficiency in performance plus 2 charisma. This guy or girl, yeah, Raptor, this guy, he gets it. He gets it. Absolutely, dog. I thought that immediately. I get plus 10 uh, expression points. You know, songwriting points plus 5. I don't know. Philosophizing points plus 5. At least 5. 5 stat points to philosophizing. Definitely 10 songwriting points. It definitely boosts my stats. Like that's an immediate fact. That's true, Amy. With 18 away. Yeah, this has been a blessed stream. And shout out to the moderators. Shout out to the moderators. Ocean and Amy, you guys are killing it. But absolutely, this has just been a momentous stream. I'm assuming we're at somewhere like 2 to 3K views. I don't know, somewhere in there. Which is great, because we're on that quest to 4K watch hours. So, magic. We'll be there in no time. Yeah, right on track. Right on track. I want one. Single P90. Yo, that's dope. What's up with the SG Junior? Huh. Yeah, man, motorcycles are awesome. I'll be honest. I don't know. I'm more attracted, strangely enough. I think I'd be more drawn to like an electric motorcycle. Like a true, like, really, really dope. But that would be costly, like a hybrid. You know, a gas and electric motorcycle. But I don't know. You know, I think also the universal truth that I've been hearing a lot is, you know, motorcycles, especially if you're like traveling, like if you're traveling as like a nomad, driving motorcycles in other countries is kind of sketchy as fuck. So I think, I don't know. You know, I'm privy one day. I think I just want to, low key, this kind of sounds funny, but I want to just buy a helicopter and a really nice boat. And just get around through helicopters and boats. I don't know, if driving doesn't seem like the vibe. I prefer not to drive. I just want to, I don't know, but that'll happen one day. The V2, dudes, the stroke, the FMF chrome fatty pipe. Interesting. Nice. What game is this? This game is called Life. Yeah, Life. It's the game of life, the game of philosophical. Yeah, Osha nailed it. That's what's up. It's the game of life, baby. We're playing it. We are all the players. We got all the pieces, all the keys to all the doors. It's a worthy grind. Grind out your skill points, get your songwriting levels up, you know? Then you do awesome stuff. Oof, that attack went out of there. Ashe, you're so whimsical. It's great. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rai. Thank you, Rai. Yes. I mean, I'm just vibing. I mean, what's not to love? You know? You can like see I'm creating a super dope community that is like becoming my livelihood to play music, play guitar, share philosophies, roast trolls, every once in a while. There's lots to love. There's lots to love here. And not just obviously in YouTube land, but everywhere. My life is pretty blessed, I would say. And I've definitely built a life that I love. And I'm still there. I'm still building. I'm still on that quest. But it's kind of like how I like to see it sometimes. Even if I'm having a crazy day or something, I'm like, wow, life is intense. It's like, but what a wild experience. Like, what is this? Like, what a wild experience this human experience is. This avatar that I get to play. Like, I get to play this avatar. That's, like, insanely trippy and really, like, off the wall. Like, it's crazy. It's pretty trippy, the person I get to play. It's nuts. Yo, hijacked the subconscious, all the mind, hermetism. Ah, okay. Nice. Life is subconscious, the collective conscious being experienced through individuality. Nice. Farming sims, light spectrum, mind matter. Huh. No farming simulator? What's a farming simulator? Like, I'm confused. Like, do you mean like people that are clip farming? Like, they're seeking to find clips? Because, I don't know. That's not here. You're in a different place. We're in a very unique place here. Thank you, brother. Or miss. Yes. Thank you, Rai. It's a beautiful guitar. I agree. Hey, thank you. Thank you, dog. Appreciate the light within. I deeply love this. I love this hat myself. It's such a, yeah. It really does it for me. And you guys can't even see it. See, this is the beauty. It's like, you can kind of try to make it out, but even with this, the hat is dark red. What's good, friends? The hat is dark red. dark auburn garnet, almost like an oxblood with garnet reds in there. It's a beautiful, beautiful, rich color hue. You can't make it out. In this light, it looks like brown, who knows, dark, ambiguous colors, but in the real world, with the naked eye, you can see the full color, and it's magic. It's beautiful. But yeah, that's the beauty of it. That's actually part of the beauty, is you can only really truly appreciate and experience this hat, like the truest depth of it, in the real world. Or maybe if the lighting is like really, really refined, but majority of the time, it's like even the camera doesn't capture the deep, rich hues, but you'll see in the real world. If you see in the real world, this hat is like, it's got a very beautiful color palette. But yeah, it's the magic. It's like in the real world, there it is. It's like a metaphor. It's a metaphor. Yeah. It's a great hat, though. Yeah. Our experience through the cool vessel, we can play guitars and drums and throw rocks at windows and stuff as kids. That's right. That's right, brother. That's right. I know the other day someone was commenting on how, they're reflecting on their childhood. They're reflecting on their high school experience. Kind of be like, wow, I missed this. I missed that experience, or I missed this time. I personally never find myself regret any dimension of my experience. I love being 31. I love this moment. I love what I can do. I feel like I'm living in like my best possible life. Like I feel like I am still my younger self. I'm honoring my younger self, my teenage self, my young adult self. It's all here in its full-fledged form. It's like and it's weird because that's the reality of how it really is for all. It's like there is no time like now. We get to be the fullest expression of our younger self. Like the dude that I am right now is literally the exact same as who I've been for the last 20 plus years, right? I'm very similar to how I was as my 12, 10, 15, 17, 20-year-old self, right? But I'm just more mature, like energetically, creatively, emotionally. It's the same dude, just matured. It's like I've still returned to the same realms of my younger self and really brought him to the fullest realm of empowerment. And that's often, I'm blessed. I think I've just unconsciously and consciously, I just honor my inner child. Like I do many things that are very playful and childlike all the time. It's just, I'm a performance artist. I get to do all these different trippy things. And yeah. So I honor my inner child all the time. And I feel him. He flows through. My inner child is ecstatic with what I've achieved and who I am nowadays. It's great. Like what I'm simply saying is 12-year-old me has always wished to become the person I am today. And it's crazy because he would be pretty damn happy. He'd be pretty happy, I must say. Life isn't perfect, of course. But, I got a guitar. Yeah. Sloppy technique, but pretty good. Pretty good. I would love to hear your UFO stories. My UFO stories? Or you're talking to someone else in their UFO stories. I don't have UFO stories. Truthfully. Oh, yo, the homie. I see. I saw a UFO in Georgia. I would love to hear Light's UFO stories. Absolutely. Yeah. Super dope. Authentic respect. Don't take it off. Thank you. Thank you, brother. I don't intend to. I take it off only when I want to let my head breathe and I'm like doing strength training pretty much. If I'm doing weight training and doing handstand push-ups, I'm not wearing the hat. But beyond that, it's always on. There's very, very little wrong time for hats. I appreciate that. I designed this. I designed this baby. It was really like a process of like back and forth, working with the hat maker, choosing the color palettes, creating this size, creating a brim that really just felt like it was right. It all was like a process of designing a hat. I've never designed a hat in my life before recently, and that's why I think it fits so well. It's like this is exactly the hat that I wanted it to be. Yeah. What do you have here? What do I do here? Nice. Nice, brother. What do I do here? That's a beautiful inquisition. My dog. Yeah, I am here. I am doing exactly what you see. If you for the real answers, I'm a music YouTuber. This is my outro speech is like I teach guitar and I do meditative sound journeys among various things. I'm a guitar YouTuber. But I'm clearly so much more than just a guitar YouTuber. I am a dude who's creating a community, and I really, yeah. There's a lot going on here. But welcome, big fish. Welcome, dog. So you're meant to be exactly where you are. Your age never matters because you're always right where you're supposed to be. Absolutely, brother. Thank you for sharing. I agree with that. I was in the back roads of 2:17 a.m. Wednesday night in the summer. Nobody around, surrounded by woods, and all of a sudden I saw a bright light. 200 meters away, yards away. Huh. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Imagine that feels like, yeah, I'm sure that feels like a psychedelic experience. Like surreal in the nature of like you experience something that obviously is like felt like a dream, which I love. I'll be honest, I love dream-like experiences that penetrate the reality, right? Make us feel like we don't truly understand how beautiful but surreal and illusionary this reality is. I love those. Quantum experiences, if you will. It sounds like you almost like entered some sort of quantum portal. Maybe not in quite the actual sense, but maybe so, if it changed you. Magic. This is great. This has been a good day for many reasons, many reasons. But absolutely, watch hour wise, I think we've probably achieved a good 100 watch hours today, which for on a live stream basis, that's a great goal. That's a great achievement. That's like exactly what I would love to do every single day. And then I'll be at 4,000 in no time. It's very psychedelic. Yeah, profoundly. That's really, yeah. I love experiences like, I've had weird, as a kid, I may have spoken to this once or twice if you've been present here. I had an astral projection experience when I was about 7. Only time I've ever astral projected in my life. Only time it ever happened. But, yeah. As it was very simple. I, was a kid, I was chilling at home watching TV, and I remember I started to reflect on the nature of the universe. I don't know why. This was I was 7, and I never thought about, what the universe was. I discovered it, I think I was watching or reading something, and it was talking about the nature of the universe. And it was like, we're in the universe. It was telling me about how the world is inside of the universe. And basically what I told myself, I was just like, whoa. It's like, that's bizarre. That's surreal to think about. I was like, okay, so wait, if I'm inside of my house, this room is inside of the house. This house is inside of New West, where I lived at the time. New West is inside of British Columbia. British Columbia is inside of North America. North America is inside of the world. And as I was saying this, as I was genuinely saying this, I started to zoom out. I started to enter a third person for whatever reason. And then I was thinking to myself, I remember looking and just zooming out. And as I would say, I am, my house is inside of here and so there, I would zoom out further, rapidly, zooming out faster and faster. And then I eventually said, the world is inside of the universe. Therefore, I'm inside of the universe. And when I said that, I actually zoomed out all the way, and all I saw was stars. I saw pure blackness and stars and galaxies everywhere. That's all I saw. And at that point, I kind of flipped out and thought I died. I was like, oh, damn. I was freaked out. I was like, holy shit, I've just died. And that's when I was just and at that point, I felt immense fear, and then I returned. Everything zoomed, very literal, back into my body, and then I was back in the room. And, yeah, only had that happen once. but it was a astral projection. Show me that this technology is real hard. The technology is real. It had no flame, no rocket, anti-gravity like a magnet. That's really cool. No, it wasn't DMT. I've done DMT, but no, this was astral. I was 7 years old, and I was, for whatever reason, I astral projected. And that was the only time I ever happened. But my whole point, or the connection was, yeah, I love these kind of surreal experiences. It's bizarre. Like, whether you're experiencing a UFO, like an anomaly in this universe, it's very beautiful. Like, it's surreal to be like, wow, how little do we know? How little do we truly know about the universe? Like, how vast and beautiful is this universe? But, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm in the USA. Maybe you are in the universe. We might be. Maybe you are the universe. Maybe you are. Okay. Sure, brother. That wasn't what I was saying, but yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. What was my DMT experience like? Oh, I refer to my DMT experience very often on this channel. Yeah. Experiencing ourselves through our vessels. If Earth is a sentient being, maybe we are the universe experiencing itself, you know. But I believe in God. I believe in God, a creator. A lot. That's a lot to unpackage there. A lot to unpackage there. A lot to unpackage there. Yes. 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 To some degree. Whoa. Bug there. Bite my toe. I agree to some degree, but I also think there's a little bit there that I think you're maybe projecting a bias, or you're projecting almost like an opinion that I don't think addresses the larger context. But I want to address the P-dub first. But yeah, brother, my DMT experience, I speak of this and refer to this very often on this channel, actually. I have never done freebase DMT. So if you're familiar with DMT, there's many different forms of DMT. There's freebase, which is the crystalline yellow powder that is a pure extract. You know, some people put in vapes. Probably not the best place to ever achieve it is in a vape. Some people do that. That's a modern sort of weird tactic. There's things like ayahuasca, there's yopo, many different forms of DMT. But this is changa DMT, which is known as smokable ayahuasca. But long story short, I had a wave of seemingly surreal, synchronistic moments. Everything synchronized. I had a dream where I experienced all these figures that were shadow figures that presented me a joint. And they said, this is changa. And I remember I took this joint and I smoked it, and then I felt like a deep wave of trust and connection to this experience. I don't know why. And then I woke up the next day, and I had a friend of mine. She reached out and wanted to hang out. She was like, hey, I'm leaving town. I'd love to spend the day. So we said, yeah. I said, yeah. And we went to this beautiful beachside area, and we spent literally all day talking about psychedelics. I played her some original music on the guitar, and we just talked about psychedelics and spirituality all day. And then towards the end of the day, she said that someone gifted her a bunch of changa, and she wanted to do a changa ceremony with me. I had no idea any of this was going to unravel. It's just, this is what just randomly happened. So long story short, experienced this beautiful changa ceremony. A lot unraveled. I could go off into for 20 minutes about the details of this, but in the simplest right, I had a very powerful, beautiful, heart-opening experience. My heart chakra was opened. I connected more with this beautiful soul that did the ceremony. I faced complex dimensions of fear and death in the changa experience. It's very beautiful. How are you today? I'm in Canada. What's good, Joey? I'm in Canada, brother. But yeah, experiencing ourselves through vessels. If Earth is sentience, yes, maybe we're the universe experiencing itself. Yeah. The Emerald Tablets was 3,000 years ago. Nice. Okay. Yeah, no, I think to light vessel, good stuff, brother. You're thinking, you're unpackaging these things. And you know what? I think you're holding a fragment, or a realm of belief. A realm of truth. Sorry, that's the word. I think what you're speaking of is a very firm, beautifully established realm of truth, or a fragment of truth. Now, so yeah, experiencing ourselves through our vessels. So yeah, exactly. Honestly, everything you're saying is valid, bro. Again, I think, I'm very open on this channel. I try to actively stray against, I like to stray away from trying to
engage in religious and political ideologies for good reason. Like, in the simplest, right? I believe people are free to express their truth, speak about this, that, God, but these are loaded words. These are loaded conventions. If we're going to talk about God and religious, that, and this, the other, a lot of people lose contextualization. They don't understand the actual context of what those words necessarily mean. And even if a person does understand these things, it's not what this channel is about. But that's a caveat. But yeah, I honestly think if we're going to be really clear cut, we are all seeds. We are leaves that are branches of the tree that is God. We are all God. We are all God. If we're going to use that word. Now, the context of that is, if we try to say God is one thing, is one being, is the source, is the source, the energy universe that is out there, sure, creator. But I mean, I don't believe, the Christian definition of God. Some realms of truth, some philosophical connections that have truth, but that's not often what I feel is the right approach. But yeah, so Earth is a sentient being. Maybe we are the universe experiencing itself. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Actually, yeah. It's beautiful. Very nice. That's rad, brother. Yeah, British Columbia. British Columbia's chill. Yeah. Explains the universe is mental. So life is a dream and thoughts create matter, like subconscious and the collective conscious. Nice. I exactly, I 100% agree, brother. Life is a dream. Like, this is, yeah, you're right. You're right on par, brother. I like you. I like your perspective. I like your perspective. I think you get it. I think you get it. Let's see. What time is it right here, friends? What time is it? I don't think we're gonna get the 100 mark. Which, I mean, I don't know. I was not too fixed on the 100 likes, but I love that, Amy was promoting that. We were going for 100, but it's cool. It's cool. I think we're probably gonna put it close to the stream because it's approaching. It's approaching midnight. It's approaching midnight. I could stream for a lot longer, but naturally, I like to honor my rhythm just being pointed here by a good friend. Oh wow, word. Looking forward to hearing some interesting thoughts. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I appreciate you chiming in, man. Honestly, I'm happy that your path aligned here. And yeah, that's cool that people are promoting this channel. People are promoting the small YouTube realm. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting to a moderate level, but that's super dope. Oh, wow, I love this. The increase in rain. It's creating a very beautiful atmosphere. That's deep. Yeah, dude. Observe and hold ties. Believe anything and keep an open mind. As you should. As you should, brother. As you should, brother. Rip some pentatonic. I can approach some pentatonic. I'm not a fan of, like, boxing. Yeah, pentatonic is... My hand doesn't... My hand can't hand from that angle very well, but... That's technically pentatonic deviating from it, but... Yeah, that's flowing. That's flowing in the realm. Somewhere in the major. But it's on. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, I do many things. I do many different styles. Yeah. Are you in standard tuning? I am, yeah. This is standard, yes. Yes, yes. Of course, couldn't miss a recommendation. Nice. From your boss. Nice. That's legendary. That's legendary. Interesting. Interesting. That's pretty cool. Your boss recommended. That's a gnarly finger tapping. Nice. Yo, thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I love I love various dimensions of this baby, like finger style. There's so much going on. Honestly, I could just go on and on. It's beautiful. Do you use any alternate tunings? Sometimes, yeah, yeah. I actually, for a period, I used a few extensively, but lately, I play around with dropped D, which is drop D, low D, dropped B, and I actually created an alternate tuning where I did a split key tuning where I dropped B for the four strings, the low four bass strings were dropped B, and then I also flipped it to an alternate hertz, and then I made these two drop D. It's a weird tuning. It sounds amazing though, but yeah, I don't know. I basically play around with just drop D, drop C, and drop B, pretty commonly. I found myself often. I love to do a capo on the second, capo on the fourth, capo on the fifth, and I also played around with alternate tunings that I forget what they're called, but Andy McKee, he has a couple songs. One's Nakagawa-san. That's in a beautiful, I think it's like a dropped D sharp. I don't even know. I haven't played that in a while, but basically Andy McKee, he has a few songs in really beautiful drop tunings. One's like it's Rylin, Art of Motion, and Nakagawa-san. Those three songs he plays in three alternate tunings. They're some of the most magical alternate tunings that ever exist. But I haven't played those songs that are in that key in a while, or those tunings. Magic. Like the Australians would say, magic. That's legendary, man. I'm curious, Shield. I'm curious. I'm not sure. There's been a lot of people flowing through, but I'm curious who your boss is that recommended. What their name is. But that's super dope. Of course, that. Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you, though. I appreciate you, Light. Yeah, the light within. I do lots of little shorts. Like, that's actually kind of how I grew my channel before I was live streaming. I was just teaching guitar, and I still throw out shorts, to just, like, teach people. Yeah. Magic. That shirt is nice, bro. Looks like cinematics. Nice. Wow, the Mozart cinematics one day. Shows us more about the unseen, and it makes the sound visible. Wow. That is very interesting, friend. Yeah, brother, this shirt was actually a gift. My friend at a music festival, he walks up to me, like we were performing a festival, and he goes up to me, and he's a performer as well. He's like, brother, I got a gift for you, something you really love, and he gives me this shirt. I was like, damn. I was like, bro, I've never had someone give me a shirt before. And he was apparently gifted to him by a good friend, and he just never wore it, and he was like, yeah, this would suit you perfectly. So now it's like, it's got even more good intention infused. Nice. It's HRH008. Nice. Wicked. Well, that's cool, man. I vaguely recall that name, but also, I don't know, just thousands of people flowing through, but I love that, bro. I love the sterling the sterling recommendation. That's just super dope, bro. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, bruv. W's for ocean. Yo, that's what's good. That's what's good. That's what we like to see. Healthy workplace environments. We love that. So cool. So cool. Whoa, it's clipping out. It's clipping. Man, I'm loving this stream today. There's been two very strong streams so far today. But I gotta say, these night streams are special. They're very special, you know? It's like, I feel like people are just receptive, open to kind of engage in a deep, you know, meditative, philosophical place, which is kind of where I personally find myself. And it's an honor. It's an honor to be able to hold space for that. It's an honor. Absolutely. That's incredible. Looks like a frequency if you watch the cinematics. Oh, yes. I'm reading the same comments. Nice. Yo, thank you. Thank you, Benji. Thank you, bruv. It's been going nice. We got this beautiful, beautiful rain. Sounds of the rain, the chimes. Kind of slowly doing chime stuff. It's very nice. You know, I'm just like hyped. Gonna probably eat some more pasta after the stream, watch some Naruto or something, I don't know. Yeah. You sing Ozzy Osbourne tribute songs. Nice. That's nice, man. That's super dope. Ozzy Osbourne. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Ozzy. That's cool. Me too. Me too, Amy. Yeah. Like, damn. This is awesome. I mean, honestly, it's hard to go wrong. If it's like, if the rain is flowing, it's beautiful. If it's snowing, it's even doper. You know, and if it's not, then I get this beautiful, you know, vibrant scene. Just weather is a win. Weather is a win-win. It's really good. What kind of pasta? I'm glad you asked, brother. I mean, it's like just pasta, whole wheat spaghetti, primavera, and that's basically it. It's primavera and some air-fried golden potatoes. I just kind of combine that. Sometimes throw in some taco chips. And it's just like, it's unorthodox. Maybe some tofu, if I got it. It's healthy pasta. Mega health mode pasta. Some people have trouble telling the difference between us. Interesting. That's wicked, dog. That's wicked. It's great that you're honoring the musicians, brother. You're honoring Ozzy. Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, brother. An awesome guy called Richard Carver, not trying to advertise without permission, but seeing you asked. Nice. Yeah, it's delicious, brother. Rich man north of Richmond. Can't say I have. Can't say I have. Yo. What is good? What's good? Ezra. Interesting. I see. Another guitarist. That's fun. The Richard of Carver. Yeah, that's cool, brother. Yeah, no, I mean, I've actually never consumed any live streams, so I enjoy when people kind of like connect those dots. That they're like, "Yo, I'm really enjoying this other streamer or this guitarist or this sound healer," because personally, in the future, I'm super down to kind of just like explore those waters, like navigate those waters of doing collaborative streams and with other sound healers, maybe other guitarists, just kindred spirits. Like, collaboration is excellent as a whole, but I'm looking more for resonant kindred spirits, you know, people that really do a good job of like holding space. So it's good to know there's others rocking out. Very cool. Dude plays and sings. Wow, man, that's serious. Man, that song's serious, bro. Guitar singer. Wow. Nice. Yeah. Nice. You ever heard of Rich Man north of Richmond? Interesting. That's wicked, bro. If you've heard of Scotty Butlers, it might be from there too. Yeah, not all news. All names I've never heard. Sweet. So these are artists. Are these YouTubers? I think. Yeah, someone was referring the YouTuber guy. I don't know. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me. No surprise to me that there's some amazing, talented, beautiful musicians and YouTubers out there. You know, I'm honestly, I don't consume much content. You know, I use YouTube here and there, but I'm not really a consumer of content. I just put out content. But it excites me to, know that there's others on that path and see collaborative potential, right? Yeah. So they've heard of Scotty's of that. Nice. Oh, it's a song. Bro Rich Man, North of England. Bro Rich Man. Okay. Nice. I gotta check him out. I gotta check that out, dude. I'll keep that in mind. Magic. Dude played the guitar and sang it in his backyard and got famous from it. Nice. Nice. Yeah. So nice. I guess he just sang in his backyard and blew up, or, yeah, grew. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. YouTubers, guitarists do that daily or almost streams. Similar supportive community based energy on here. Nice. That's awesome, brother. I'll keep these homies in mind. I'll go and check out their channel. Yeah, I appreciate you guys sharing. That's the thing I love to do. I like to rewatch some of these streams and see the names and the comments, the things that really resonate, and kind of like go through and, yeah. Magic. Yeah, just a beautiful, YouTube is just awesome. Shout out YouTube. YouTube is it's an excellent platform. I very intentionally always desired to grow YouTube. Like, really, other platforms in my mind, they don't really serve the same purpose. YouTube just seems to have a very unique community. It serves a very unique role. It's also more professional. It has a higher learning curve, quintessentially. Which I like. I like learning curves. I'm a fan of them. Yeah. Yeah, dude, off the song Rich Man, North of Richmond. You should learn the song. I'm not good enough, but it's all chords. Nice. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. Yeah. See if it resonates. Northman. North of Richmond. Richmond. Amazing. Wonderful. Well, where did the time go, man? Time is just not real, brothers and sisters. Time is just not real. It's beautiful. It's so evident. These 3 hours, I remember last time I was looking at that clock, it was an hour and a half. It was just over an hour. I was like, wow, what a great stream. But 3 hours, time is not real. Damn, so dope. Yeah. It always feels bizarre, but this is kind of the breaks. As of lately, where I've just, had rooms full of people. Yep, time is a social construct. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful though. What a beautiful invention. What a beautiful 3D reality we humans get to experience this. We get to play around in this playground of the human facilities. Sensory restraints, sensory world. Super dope. Nice. Yo, thank you, brother. Yo, and thank you, this guy. speaking the hate speech. Thank you, Ocean. I want to see. Yeah, I'm gonna hide. We're gonna double. We're gonna hit the homie with a double whammy. Pow pow pow. Ocean caught him. You know, W's to the moderators, but I've successfully hidden the homie's chats, so he can watch. He can do whatever he wants. If you're still here, I hate to say it. I hate to break it to you, Mr. Hate Speech. You know, unhinged whoever. You're probably not the target audience. You're not the target audience. I hate to break it to you, dog. So you can respectfully leave this chat. I know you thought that was the big brain move, bro. The big brain move. Let's drop this hate speech. You know, win the audience. Big round of applause. That's how it went in your head, but clearly it didn't work out that way. Due to their low conscious awareness to hate on the magical pimp. Right? I don't know. The way I like to see it, you're right. How, like, disarming. How can a person hate on the magical pimp hat? I don't know if it's the magical pimp hat, but it's the magical 80s rock star hat. It's got a pimp flow, but I'll be honest, yeah, bro. The way I like to look at it is I've only been rocking this hat for like 4 or 5 days. And it's like, it's magic. It's a great hat. I fuck with it. But the reality of it is, I find it very amusing when people are like triggered or just like, whoa, strong reaction about the hat. If they're like, you know, if they go so far. Because it says a lot. It says a lot about them immediately. Like, it says a lot about them. And I find it amusing now, where I'm like, you know, I get like a lot of people, they appreciate the hat. They appreciate the aesthetic, you know, or at least they say they do. But then there's the 1% of people who are just like, whoa, it's a hat. And they're just like, their reaction is strong. Like, they got a strong reaction. And I find it amusing, where I'm just like, bro, I'm like, damn. Like, this human being clearly is profoundly suppressed. Like, they've suppressed themselves. Like, that's the true reality. Is like, if a person looks at a hat and they're triggered by it, like, they're like, no, man, it's like egregious to them. That is a person who suppressed themselves. They've suppressed their ability to express themselves. You know, express their truth, to express their themselves via the clothing they wear, you know, the things they do. They're just profoundly suppressed, and it sucks. I get it. I've been there. When I was 12 years old too, I also suppressed myself, you know. I remember vividly, you know, as a 12-year-old, I was like, should I wear flannel? Should I dye my hair? You know, should I grow my hair long? It was like, you know, we've all been there. We've all been in that place where we suppress ourselves. But it's, you know, it's interesting. It's revealing when people are so triggered or have such a strong reaction to a hat. It just says a lot about where they're at. You know, it has nothing to do with the hat. Like, a hat is a hat. You know. Anyways, facts. I'm a beanie man only because I couldn't pull off a real hat. Nice. Nah, you're a legend, bro. You're a legend, Shield of God. That's the funny thing is I'm wearing both. I rock beanies too. I rock beanies, evidently. I mean, this is like a ancient Scandinavian, you know, like symbology beanie. But then I have the hat on top of the beanie. Just a double fun. But I don't know, I swear, the hat is just like, I just wanted to bring hats back. I was like, you know what? I want to bring the 18th century, 80s energy. I just got to bring it back. We're bringing hats back. And I swear, every place where I'm at, when I'm just rocking it, people are just like, yes. Like, people are just like, yes. They're like, I love the hat. I love the confidence with the hat. And I'm just like, yeah. Like, I'm not even thinking about it, but I'm just like, yeah, dog. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, like, I swear, when I first wore this hat, it was interesting. Because the 1% that of some people that have that strong reaction, it's not even me trying to, like, throw salt at these people or be like, whoa, like, such a, you know, it's like, I want to give people perspective. I want to be authentic and real with them. It's like, they don't realize that their inability to suppress or to express themselves, you know, they're suppressing themselves. Like, they see a hat and they're just like, I could never in my wildest dreams express myself with my clothing, so let's, you know, it's triggering. And like, yeah, that's unfortunate. That's a truth they maybe need to sit with, you know. Maybe one day they'll learn to really express themselves, you know, be it if it's them speaking their truth or, you know, expressing their voice or singing their heart out or whatever they're doing. Or maybe not, who knows, what their quest is. Have you seen those guys that make vintage steampunk hats? Interesting. I have not. I think I know what you're talking about, though, bro. I think I know what you're. I've been advertised something that sits in that category, but actually, the maker that makes these aren't vintage, but they have like a vintage kind of dimension. Cause I, asked for her to make it distressed, but she makes like the maker of these hats. She makes so many different super dope hats. Like she's very talented. I love her. She's just dope. Yeah, Beanie Boys Unite. Yeah, bro. That's what's good. That's what's good. That's what's good. I rock so many beanies, bro. Beanies are just, they're transformative, man. I remember when I first started rocking them, I was like, I have long hair, right? My hair is like down to here. And I probably need to get a haircut. I'll probably cut it down to like there. But when my hair is super long, if I'm not rocking it, long and just rocking it like a primal, Tarzan motherfucker, it's like, then I can tie it up and wear a beanie, and suddenly it's like my hair is maintained. I can do stuff. Yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah, beanies rock, man. Dude, the hat's severely authentic. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. I'm glad that resonates. I'm glad that resonates. That's what I'm going for. And honestly, bro, that's the thing is the more I wear it, the more I really love it. And like it's crazy if you saw this in the real life, like in the real world with the naked eye, the color palette is beautiful. You can't really see it. You can try. Yeah, the camera doesn't capture it very well, but the color palette of this hat is beautiful. It's like oxblood and dark garnet red, like auburn red. It looks beautiful. It has like a black, sort of black hues, some like oxblood, some dark auburn garnet. Like it's beautiful. It's got some rich, beautiful color palettes. But it can't really be captured in this camera. But that's okay. Magic. Alrighty. I appreciate you, dog. It's like the Avatar hat version of you. That's right. I swear, bro. Immediately when I put on this hat, I loved it because like this is me, right? This is my character. That is me. But it's like when you pop on this hat, it's suddenly like I'm like another character. Like the different, even more enhanced. Like the more, who knows, philosophical or distinguished or who knows, whatever it wants to be. But it's like it really adds expression that I can feel. I can feel this in my energy. I can feel it in my songwriting. Strangely enough. It's obviously a placebo effect, but it's also, it's hats are great, bro. Poor oxes. Poor oxes indeed. But no oxes were harmed in the making of this hat, clearly. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's dope, bro. Hey, man. I think that's the move. I'm actually looking into on Etsy. I'm also looking into gold red circle shades. Like they're gold and red mirrored circle shades. They look phenomenal. That's what's gonna complete this look. I'll have these gold, red and gold mirrored circle shades. Mainly for when it's, sunny out, so I can rock these shades. Then I'll just look like some dude who's straight out of a 70s or 80s, like, period piece. But it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Yeah. Black and white silhouette of that hat would be fire. Black and white silhouette. Black and white silhouette. Interesting. I kind of get what you mean. Black and white silhouette. I don't know what, I actually don't. I don't get what that means, but yeah. Yeah. Harmonics. Gold goes well on a tan type of colors. Nice. Gold, yeah, bro. My color palette, like my favorite color palette of all time, is dark red. No surprise there. Dark red, like maroon, garnet, auburn. I love all those color palettes. All reds. I love every red color. It's the same color as my guitar, my Ibanez. But my second favorite color is black, like acid wash black. And then the third one's gold. So it's just black, red, and gold. Like, those are the best color palettes in my opinion. Now, I love all colors, but those are just like, I don't know why. Those just fill my soul with just like so much joy. And that's what colors should do. With one hand. Yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm all about one-handed stuff. You know, I like to like multitask. I can do like one hand, I can isolate to this, and then one hand can go so far. It can go so hard. It can go so far. Yes. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you. The sound of one hand double tapping. Yeah, yes. I feel you. Tapping can go so far. It's like August Rush, quite literally. There we go. Messed that up at first. Appreciate you, brother. Yes, many years, about 9, I think 10 years to be exact, I've been refining this style of playing. 16 and a half years, guitar as a whole, but it's beautiful though. It's like, I really feel the more you pull those threads of your style, like you carve your style, you basically just become fluent at understanding music as a whole because you just passionately dive deep into your style of playing. It's super dope. Like, guitar, it's like, it's just magic. It's magic. Yeah. 88 likes. You know it. Yeah, we in this. Sacred numbers. So there's something, I don't know, there's something sacred about 88. 88, baby. Got a bad headache. Gonna call it quits. Fair enough, brother. Fair enough. Honestly, I think we're hitting the 3.5 hour mark, or 3 hours and 20. As much as we'd love to hit this 100, it's, numbers are arbitrary. I'm just happy to have the presence here. We've been rocking out hard. Yeah, killing it. W's in the chats. Like, we love this. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, Ocean. Appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, Amy. You're just legendary. Let's see. I used to tell people that I'm ambidextrous, but the truth is, I'm just really impatient, easily distracted. Nice. Ambidextrous. Yeah. I've never thought I'm ambidextrous. Yeah, definitely not. But, I don't know. I think I have, due to dance, tutting, and guitar, among various other things, I just somehow, I'm really good at isolating, movement pathways and spatial awareness and dexterity. This is the thing, I speak of this openly. It's like, I'm a guitarist, naturally, I play lots of guitar, but the reality of it is, it's dexterity, finger strength. Like, the key is, like, one should achieve and desire to achieve finger strength, muscle memory control, or muscle control, muscle memory. It's like finger dexterity, and you can achieve that so many different ways. I train like handstand push-ups, qigong, martial forms, dance, this, that, the other. Like, there's so many ways to hone your muscle memory, to hone the musculature in your hands. It's profound. It is a worthy pursuit, and guitar is just one of the many avenues that helps hone that. It allows you to exercise and explore that. But long story short, what I'm saying is, it's almost like how I like to see it. It's like cross training. You can cross train your ability to use your hands in so many different ways, and when you do, they all begin to stream into each other. So eventually, you can just like do really dope hand stuff. That sucks about the headache, though. I'm sorry to hear about that, brother. Hope that alleviates. ADHD, attention dialed hyperdimensionally. Yeah, dog. You hit the nail on the head. I'll be honest, that's a thing I love to think about. Am I regular or goofy? You mean my stance? You mean, are you asking my snowboard? You're asking my snowboard stance, if I'm regular or goofy. I haven't. I don't even remember, bro. I snowboard. I snowboard like this. I can do regular or goofy, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty regular when I snowboard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm regular. Uh, yeah. As a kid, I would sometimes do both, but I'm pretty sure I'm regular. Yeah. No, I mean that makes sense. Just super off, caught me off guard. I love snowboarding though. Snowboarding's great. Yeah, that's cool. I'm assuming a lot. I was like, I'm assuming a lot here. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, bro, how did he know? It's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm in Canada. I'm in British Columbia, so pretty much everybody snowboards or skis. Like literally everybody. It's almost like you're missing out often if you're not a snowboarder or skier. Like big culture here. But yeah, I haven't snowboarded in like 2 3 years, but I've done it since I was like 9 years old. It's great. Say ibuprofen is an elite ball. Whoa. It is elite ball knowledge. Wait, what? Ibuprofen. You're saying say ibuprofen. Huh. Learning stuff every day. Yeah, they did a study on autistic kids and they found they're using telepathy and they meet other kids at a place called The Hill there. What? I'm gonna read that again. They did a study on autistic kids and they found they use telepathy and they meet other kids at this place called The Hill. That's bizarre. Wow. I'm a what? You are a professor. A professor. I am not a professor. I profess many things. Like Andrew Huberman says, I profess many things, but I'm not really a professor. No, I'm not a professor, bro. Yeah. That's really interesting, though. Yeah, I mean, I thought about this a lot. I have ADHD, right? I was diagnosed for whatever the hell that even means when I was like 7, and again when I was like 9, and again when I was like 12 and 13. Like I was diagnosed many times. Like, okay, this guy's got ADHD, but I'm not medicated. You know, there was periods where I engaged, tried medication, was like, nah, it's not for me. But long story short, I've been a guitarist since I was about 9 years old, and done taekwondo since I was about 7 years old. And yeah, I think I've basically somehow medicated or corrected myself, integrated the ADHD. I've embraced it. Where most people, they look at me and they're like, "Oh, you have ADHD? Like what the fuck?" Like, because I'm very like focused. I'm very disciplined. I'm like basically indomitable. I'm kind of like, you know, when I say I'll do things, I do them, and with like a very strong will, you know. And it's interesting because I've been like that. You know, I was a kid. As a kid, I was scatterbrained. I was disorganized. I was a kid. I was just a kid. You know, I was never naturally good at basically anything. But now as a full-grown 31-year-old man, yeah, I love ADHD. I'm like the archetype of a dude that has ADHD that's, you know, enjoyed the ADHD experience. I've embraced it. I'm not just like, I'm like, damn, that ADHD though. It's like, you know, it's like XYZ. It's like, I love it. I got ADHD, but it's like genuinely, I flipped it. Like, I have ADHD, but I'm like the archetype of a dude that's made the ADHD, you know, work for him. It's like a superpower. ADHD can be a superpower, like hyper-focusing. Yeah. That's, nah. I guess so. The way I see it is ADHD, as I even saw it as a young kid, learning an instrument is extremely good for the brain. Learning to say dance and connect through via muscle memory, learning martial forms, also, all those things, extremely good for the brain. All things I did at a young age, more or less. Among various things, but mainly, you know, guitar and martial arts. And I don't know, I think just over the years of integrating guitar and mainly guitar, I think it was a brain game that so successfully treated my ADHD that as my brain developed throughout my years as a youth and a teenager, it just like it worked in my favor. I have ADHD, but I never really experienced true deficiency. Like there wasn't like a deficiency there. Just whatever. I don't know. It's a complex matter, but W's to ADHD. I don't know. I think my brain needs to eat some pasta and watch some Naruto. This has been chill. I genuinely believe that the ASD kids study. I'm diagnosed AUDHD, and I had two genuine premonitions as a kid, so it blows my mind. I try to understand. Wow, that's really cool, man. Same here as self-medicated, unmedicated. I smoked weed a lot. Yeah, honestly, bro, as a kid, as a teenager, I did drugs. I smoked weed, did lots of mushrooms, smoked cigarettes a lot. Like I medicated myself like nuts. I drank tons of coffee. I like medicated the shit out of myself as a 15 and 14, 15, 16, 17 year old. But as a full grown adult, like I don't know, like it's growing a YouTube business is healthy dopamine. Strength training for multiple hours, multiple times a week is healthy dopamine. Having healthy love, community support in my life, writing music, it's healthy dopamine. I think it's like your brain just wants to be regulated. It wants to honor the optimal neurochemical experience. The brain just wants to experience healthy, regulated dopamine at the heart of it. And of course, ADHD, as is neurologically understood, it's like you're deficient in dopamine, so to speak, or there's some sort of, uh, some sort of imbalance in your dopaminergic system. But I don't know. I think the key in many rights is just healthy dopamine, healthy nervous system regulation, healthy association with your dopamine. It's just there's a lot going on there, right? Apparently, if you research it, telepathy has no scientific proof, but I believe in it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I believe in all metaphysical anomalies, like quantum shifts, quantum portals, every metaphysical anomaly. I believe in it without a shadow of a doubt, invariably. I wasn't always that way. I wasn't always like, I don't know why I'm doing these weird hand things, but I wasn't always like dead set on being like, oh yeah, quantum anomalies, metaphysical anomalies, these exist. But as a full grown adult, as a man that's experienced like my handful of just like quantum anomalies, things that are true anomalies in this world that do not have any logical application. And also I read a lot of metaphysical philosophy. I 100% agree with telepathy. Also, this probably also makes a lot of sense. Is I'm a twin, right? I've had telepathy. I've had telepathical experiences with my twin. On LSD actually. On LSD I've experienced, but I used to have telepathy, actually twin telepathy as a kid with my twin. Twins, they say twins have twin telepathy. When I was like 8, 9, 10 years old, I had that happen all the time. It's like weird. It was like me and my twin, and this was, I don't know, it doesn't happen obviously anymore, but basically me and my twin, when we were like 8 years old, if someone walked up to us and they're like, hey, like, do you remember that time you went to, I don't know, the ice cream store when we went to this place? Me and my twin would be like, hey, yeah, I remember blah, 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 and we'd basically repeat the exact same story and say the exact same thing for minutes. Like we would say the exact same thing in perfect synchronization. Oh, someone's lights. For minutes at a time. And basically, like, if someone would ask us a question, or we'd have like a thought stream that is literally identical, and we'd repeat the exact same story at the exact same time in perfect sync. It was very weird. But anyways, we had that kind of similar experience. That was a form of telepathy. But when we were on LSD, we'd have full conversations in the exact same way. We wouldn't say a single word. Like, we'd be like, basically doing what we did as kids to the twin telepathy. But, wow, this is a really bright and jarring light. But yeah, we'd do the same thing, but we wouldn't actually say words. We'd meditate. We'd, like, pre-perceive the words we would say before we'd say them. Like, we'd be like, Yeah. Like perfect sync. We know exactly what we were saying. We'd have full conversations. This is also my twin, but and we're on LSD. But telepathy. Yeah. Good night. Good night. Yeah, we got some fire moderators. Thank you, brother. Thank you. They add to the channel. Thank you, Shield. Appreciate you, bruv. Appreciate you, brother. Yep, I see ghosts. Wow. Profound. I like how they said no aliens forever. Now look at this. Yeah, that's correct, Amy. They're just like, no extraterrestrials. Going down some conspiracy, rabbit hole. But then the facts of the matter, ashe. Yeah. But the facts of the matter is like, welcome to 2026, baby. Everyone's like, oh yeah, the aliens, the extraterrestrial, the Greys and the reptilians of this and that. They're like certified facts. Like you'll watch documentaries that are like, it's so funny, honestly. Even to this day, when I see these documentaries, they're like speaking about this alien tribe and this alien species. It's just like openly just poking all the holes and like speaking it as it's factual because this facts. Aliens are clearly real. They've been real for a long time, and it's like invariable. Yeah. It's great. LSD with your twin. That's deep. Bro, I know. That's a core memory that I'm just surfacing and sharing with you guys. But that's the thing is for me, I know telepathy is real. Like it's 1000% real. I've experienced it. And again, with the capacity of my twin, but I know for a fact it exists. I haven't experienced it with other human beings, just with my twin on LSD. The first time I did LSD actually, but it makes perfect sense that other people can do that. Yeah. Yeah? Makes sense as soon as they're friendly. I think they're intelligent, Amy. I think they're just intelligent. They're intelligent extraterrestrials. I don't know if they're friendly. I don't know. That's a mind fuck. That thought of, are aliens friendly? Like, do aliens even operate on moral logic, or if they're beyond the 3D and the 4, the 5D and beyond, are they operating out of different astral, like extraterrestrial, dimensional perceptions beyond the 3D? That is. I don't know. Beautiful things to think about. So many questions, Amy. You've got a very interesting mind, and I agree. We love these questions here. We love these questions here on this channel. Yeah, some of them Pleiadians. That's the word. Yeah, that's the word. That's one of them I was looking for, brother, that I couldn't think of. The Pleiadians. The Pleiadians. Yeah. Did they play guitar? I honestly, brother, I think I'm sure they do something that resembles music, like some sort of weird wiggly alien thing. But humans are musicians. We are artists. We are the rare species that has evolved into being able to create creative expression like guitar and etc. Like it's a very bizarre anomaly that humans have made music the way we have. It's a super rare thing. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe in the vast universe there's billions of other, sentient, intelligent life. But I don't know. It's almost like the fact that humans in this generational, cosmic chapter have somehow discovered something like the guitar and done music. It's the same sort of argument about how rare is it that you are alive in this time as the being you are, right? How rare is it? We don't think about that a lot. We don't really give that the credit that it's due. Is how absolutely astonishingly rare is it that you exist, like out of the absolute, like impossible odds of the insane amounts of anomalies that have unraveled to make you exist in this time right now, even the same place as me, here we are or whatever. That is actually astonishing. It's like, what are the odds? Like the odds are insane. But so to think about that, like the fact that we are alive, we have guitars, we're human beings that somehow exist, we're sentient, we're these beings, and then we have guitars. Like, wow, that's pretty astonishing. It's pretty astonishing, brothers and sisters. It's a frightening thought. Abductions. Yeah, yes, just saw an outline, ran across the room and vanished. Wow. That's a lot. Cinematics, yeah. Crop circles, okay. Whoa. Trading tech for million kids. Wow. Greys are not benevolent, abducting kids. Yeah, I don't know, bro. You're probably, yeah, greys, I think aren't greys, if I'm not mistaken, in my very limited knowledge, greys, there's a theory that the greys were a species. They were some sort of intelligent life form that this is a very strange parallel. I believe the thought stream was greys were an intelligent life form that what's the word? They evolved out of the human experience, or the whatever, the sentient, emotionally intelligent experience. They basically became empty, soulless, logical, robotic beings. You know, they were once maybe some sort of being of a sort, but it's almost like in this sort of weird realities, there it's possible that their, you know, alien dimension in their world of whatever happened is they evolved and merged with a technology that cycled out any, you know, realm of human experience. They just became these empty shells, these logical robotic, you know, these shells of a species, because it's like robots. You know, they became like a almost like a living embodiment of an echo of a robot, almost like what maybe AI is in a weird sense, like some sort of strange advanced intelligence that doesn't require, you know, whatever we are, like a biological connection. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't feel very good about the prerogatives of the Greys. I don't know, bro. Yeah. Yeah, the L's in the chat. L's in the chat for the Greys, bro. Honestly, like fuck. Pretty sure the internet was invented by a hybrid alien human. Is that right? Damn, I like the depth of your thoughts, Amy. That's, I think there's some truth to that. I've thought about that myself. It's like, the fact of the matter, I've never actually made that exact connection, but the fact is, the internet, like these technologically oversaturated loops that is the internet, that is smartphones, profoundly like malicious and manipulative in the direction they've gone. Like it's not, it's it's just bizarre. Like that would not surprise me if there was some sort of like alien influence. That's, I don't know. I guess maybe it's not even for the better or for the worse. It could have been like, because you know, there's also this. What is it? Terence McKenna's theory is, you know, magic mushrooms are an ancient technology that extraterrestrials implanted. Like it's like they took a biological technology that is magic mushrooms. They implanted this in the earth, you know, millions of years ago, or whenever, 100,000 years ago, when the ancient humans were present. And then ancient humans discovered magic mushrooms, you know. This is the stoned ape theory. These ancient apes consumed the technology that was magic mushrooms, which, again, theoretically was an alien biological technology they implanted to increase, you know, our intelligence, to form, to bond with humans. And it would be the most brilliant way to do this. Like, this would be genius. But, yeah, I don't know. Aliens being responsible for, in some, for the advance of, like, computers and smartphones. I don't know. I don't know. Humans are bizarre. From Mars. Interesting. Wow, you look like a young Crispin Glover. Damn. Thank you, brother. That's a big W. I don't know who Crispin Glover is, but I got a lot. We've got Axl Rose, Bon Jovi, Heath Ledger, W. And a bunch of other rappers and artists I'm not really familiar with. The lead singer from some super dope band that I forget. That's great. Some people think greys are just what humans would look like evolved millions of years from now. That's exactly... Oh, reconnected and we're live. Nice. Yeah, that's exactly right. To sell your cellar door. Cellar door. Wow. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, basically. Is, yeah, that's what they believe, is that there are millions of years they evolved out of, like, the human experience. Like a human-type sentient being. Yeah, I don't know. I think that checks out. It's eerie, like eerie as fuck, but it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. They're just some weird shell of a distant type of being that might have resembled humans, that are now these strange, like, evolved beings that are just, here. They're curious. They're like, whoa, there's humans exist, and they're just curious of what we are. But man, strange, strange stuff. They were inside the earth, miles in. Bro, look at Phil Schneider in his speeches in his seminar. He presented tons of evidence. They effed him up. Oh no. They effed him up, tortured him. That checks out. That checks out. Historically, humans have done some super dumb, atrocious things to people that try to spread truth. Cold hard facts. Greys could be us in the future, time traveling back to guide us and steer us. That's an interesting theory. That's an interesting theory, Rob Zombie. I could see that. I could see that. I mean, I don't know. I think we're entering a lot of bizarre anomalies. And then there's the theory they live in the sea. Octopuses and aliens have DNA. Hell yeah. I don't know how to... Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, that makes sense. You see, that kind of makes sense. The ocean's very unexplored. There's aquatic planets that are, like, insanely evolved. That just makes me excited to think about. But yeah, to Rob Zombie, so Greys could be us in the future, traveling back. I don't know, bro. Because, yes, that's an interesting theory, and there's maybe some truth to that, but, like, when we understand time travel, like, the almost like the anomalies that occur, like, how paradoxical... I don't know shit. I don't know shit about time travel, but I think, what's the word? I think it's astrophysicists, but not physicians, but people that study physics. Like, yeah, I think we can understand that if time travel is real, which obviously eventually will become, I'm not sure if we could handle it in a construct that it's, like, so linear. I think it's, I don't know, man. Wormholes, etc. could exist. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I actually believe, Amy, is like, there's white holes and there's black holes. There's black holes and there's white holes. And they have the exact opposite, the polar opposite, what's the word? Gravitational matter bending properties. Black holes, I don't remember the specifics, I'm not an astrophysicist. But black holes, they basically suck matter. White holes, they have matter exit the holes. So there's a theory that black holes and white holes, never been proven, they are wormholes. Black holes and white holes, they're a direct wormhole. You enter one, you exit the other. I have no idea how that could ever be proven, but I think that's super dope. The fact that white holes even exist, like, they're theoretical. They're not, we've never seen them, but as is black holes. But the fact that black holes and white holes have this kind of interesting, like, polarity, super dope. I think that's really cool. That's always intrigued me. Space travel in itself is time travel. That's true. That's true. If we're getting into, like, quantum physics, which I love, yeah, bro. Like, the different dimensions of our reality is surely, like, I don't know, this is a little, I think my brain, I know how to, I've explained this in Summer Rights before, but this goes deep. Humans invented time, yeah. It's exactly, yeah, time, it does not exist. It's just, yeah, I think about this often. I love to go down this rabbit holes. Obviously, quantum particles and quantum theory explain that naturally, yeah, everything's happening all at once. Like, I really genuinely believe this on the deepest core of my being, is that, yes, everything, understanding how quantum particles operate in the universe, that we're quantum particles, everything's existing in these infinite, realities that we ourselves are immediately materializing. Time is not real, never was. Everything's happening all at once. The beginning of the universe, the end of the universe, happening it all at once. And it's a beautiful thought, because it's an exquisite mindfuck that becomes so beautifully paradoxical, and I'm all here for it. I'm all here for it. For sure, maybe the Anunnaki created humans. Hell yeah, dude. The Anunnaki. Fuck yes. Yeah, the ancient Anunnaki. Man, there's just so much. There's so much. I mean, this is a beautiful recurring theme in understanding, you know, the modern ancient Egyptians, the ancient worlds. There's so much that we don't necessarily understand, that humans have maybe, for whatever reason, tried to suppress through XYZ reasoning, but damn, like our ancient ancestors, the ancient connections to maybe extraterrestrials and the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Atlanteans, you know, as metaphysical teachers like Matthias de Stefano love to speak of, there's just so much interesting connections that we can learn from our ancestors. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Absolutely the old world order. Yeah, I love to think about these things. You know, especially as a musician, it always intrigues me and makes me feel happy to connect to ancient worlds, you know, ancient portals and cultures through music. God damn. This whole thing, man. I feel like half these conversations is kind of making my whole body just zoom out in third person, low key. Yeah. Often thought this was a pile of BS. Yeah. Quantum entanglement. Yeah. Nice. Facts, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in the simplest right, you know, when people try to reinforce their perceptions of time, you know, people are fixated on time. They're like strangled or like paralyzed by the dimensions of time. That has nothing to do with anything. And it's like, you know, people are like, you know, they're creating these weird one-dimensional beliefs about time. You know, they're like fearing ultimately death, but they're fearing this, that, time, this, that, this, the other thing. You know, it's like, it's weird. It's almost like time is some weird construct that a lot of people just want to almost use to reinforce beliefs that don't understand the larger picture. And yeah, it's beautiful, you know? Time doesn't exist. It's like, what a blissful reminder. You know, what a blissful reminder that we are free. We are free. I mean, transcending time, that's a fun quest to go on. But we can do it. You believe it is, and so it is, and bang. Yeah. I often thought this or that, yes. The Hebrew language is the origins into cinematics. They found cinematics in the pyramids. I gotta look into cinematics. There's so many things that just spore from these streams that I'm like, I have a long ass list of like music and like conceptualizations that I'm like, one day I'm just gonna be like, alright, today's the day. And I'm just gonna go through all these like recommendations that people have sent me. And I'm just gonna go through them all, spend like a bunch of hours, and I'll just learn. I'll be like, this is the day. Yeah. Alright, well I think we're probably gonna put a close to this stream at this point. Yeah. This has been fun though. This has been fun. You know, I had a nap. I took a nap earlier, so time is irrelevant. I've had all this. This has been a magical investment of this time. Today is, yeah. It is beautiful, you know. I loved. It's like it is and it is not so, and because yeah, the moment you believe it is or it is not so, so it is. It's just magical. It's just like yes. Magic. Beautiful. Well, we hit 89, you know. Not 100, but who knows? Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah. Magic. Amazing. Well, I got 3 things. Mozart Cinematics, Phil Schneider, and that song I recommended. Word, I'll pop through this stream tomorrow, brother. I'll scroll through it and I'll find... Yeah, I'll grab those things. Yeah. Absolutely, Amy. Do you know Paco de Lucia? Can't say I do. Paco de Lucia. Oh man, this is fun though. I feel like I could do this. I could surely I could surely brave out like a freaking long ass stream with you guys one of these days. But yeah, this is fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's the facts, yeah. We do, but I think as a collective more so. Beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate you, Amy. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you guys. Experiencing individuality of our source of the subconscious of the collective. Amazing. Dorian concept. Yeah. Blissful. Amazing. Well, I'm gonna eat some pasta and watch some Naruto. Or I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna maybe just chill. But thank you so much for chiming in. Yeah, I deeply appreciate you guys. If you guys are not subscribed to this channel, feel free to subscribe if this resonates with you. I teach guitar and I do meditative sound journeys among various things. Outro! Yes, remember to honor yourself and honor each other. Much love. Bless. Ashe.